is keeping the commandments of God. Each one should remain in the condition in which he was when he was called. Were you a slave when you were called? Do not worry about that. God bless.
Good morning, tribe.
Morning, what is going on? Where's Christian at?
Oh, somebody's zam.
Oh, there he is. I think somebody kicked him because he was smacking on his food. I think that's what happened.
Was not.
I think that's what happened, Earl. I think that's what happened. Can anybody concur?
I think it was somebody who was wearing a hat.
Well, there's a lot of people that wear hats.
I'm wearing a hat.
See?
And I didn't do it.
Jay Spazin got a hat on. That's 3 people. Somebody did it. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, Isaiah 63. I think that was Jennifer. I think that was Jennifer that wanted to go over Isaiah 63.
Yeah. Is she here? I don't even think she's here.
She didn't.
She's not here.
She
didn't show up to class today.
She didn't show up to class. How dare you playing hooky?
We'll be asking for a hall pass.
What's up, guys?
What's up? Don't come to us. Don't come to us, third eye worshiper.
Third eye blind. That's just
no,
crazy,
you know what? No, wait. Try.
Jay said
it
that's
got even
just
deeper.
crazy.
Listen.
Huh?
It got even deeper yesterday. I heard another live talking about that, and they started saying that the cherubim are actually part of our brain. That's what I said. That same look you have.
Well, in that case,
what's happening?
Yeah, no, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what's happening. If y'all don't know, then I'll tell you what's happening. See, well, I don't know. Should I say it?
Oh, you should.
Should I say it? But should I? Look, man, there's always going to be people that read the black letters in a white page and they'll hear someone say it or they'll start believing it like, wait a minute, so there's more to the Bible. Well, instead of being discipled on what's more to the Bible, they just start running with whatever. And they're like, well, if Trot can say whatever, then I can say God talks to me too. Tell me, God. No studying. Right. No studying. Just let me think. All right, the first thing that the cherubs is our brain because Trot said the serpent was in the midst of the brain.
It's the left atmosphere and the right atmosphere.
Yeah, it's the right and the left. It's the right and the left. In the right and the left, and see in the midst is the serpent, but it's really the serpent of Christ because it's the fiery sword that's in the midst at Eden between the 2 cherubs. Oh my God!
You got it.
You sound like how Medea be telling her stories about the fire.
Bruh, the Bible does. It talks in a very weird way, but it's in the Bible, right? You don't just grab stuff out here and like mix this stuff with the Bible. That ain't how that works. That ain't how that works even a little bit. And everybody wants to know, well, then how does it work? How does it work? Listen, the one thing I do know is a contrite. God will not hold anything back from a contrite heart. And so when someone goes, what? No one has the most contritest heart than I. I have the most contritest heart. It's like, that's up to God to determine, not anybody else. You can say whatever you want, but there's no mixing. The Bible's got everything in there, and if it ain't in the Bible, then you don't need it. It's not doctrine, okay? Like there's a bunch of numbers we can use, and those things are in the Bible. It is they are weird, right? When the like how far the Earth is, from the sun, and like just some weird numbers that even in the Bible, some of those numbers are in there, and you're like, whoa, that's just weird. Like, how would those people know? Like me, if someone said, hey, I need you to tell me how far the sun is from the Earth, bro, I'm gonna go buy a bunch of rulers and start gluing them together. I don't know how to figure that out. Like, but there's people that do know how to figure it out. And they figured it out, and they're like, oh, well, it's this far based on this and this. And I mean, it's just one thing leads to another. And then you go to the Bible and you're like, that's weird how these numbers show up. And, with numbers is different. Numbers, like, they never end. You can keep counting, you can keep adding. But for these very specific numbers to show up the way they do is just really weird. I'm not trying to make it doctrine, not even a little bit. But, God, one would at least think, well, that's weird. How would they have figured that out, way back then? It's just weird. But people try to do that today. They try to take things that are happening in this world and like force it into the Bible or vice versa. It'd be better if you just take the Bible and allow God to help you make sense of what the Bible is saying. And there's people that are not as learned as you. They're not as learned as you. And so they're going to be mad that you understand something and they don't, or they'll lie and say, I just have a different understanding. And they'll try to show you their understanding. And 90% of the time they view it that way because they're lacking this other understanding. So that's why they view it that way. But what I'm saying is eventually everybody will come to agreement, because I believe most Christians actually want to know like what the truth is. They want to know, but they don't know how to tell their flesh to shut up. They allow themselves to get in their belly and become demanding and start yelling, and they want to fight. And it's very clear they want to fight, very clear. And then they lie to everybody. See, I'm asking questions and nobody answered my questions. Like, bro, nobody wants to talk to your crazy butt. What are you talking about? Ain't got nothing to do with your questions. There's just people that they're not for you. So just, you don't need them in your life. People that want to be around you, they'll be around you, like on TikTok, for instance, at any given time, be anywhere between, 40 to 100 people that will come in here. And sometimes there are people that they only come in here because everybody keeps talking about descaled. I want to see what this guy's talking about. And they already come in here mad because everybody's talking about the descaled guy. And they're not trying to listen to nothing. They just want to argue. They're like, hold on, that ain't right. And nothing's right. But they came with the idea of very argumentative. Anytime you see them, that's all they're doing is arguing, yelling, and screaming. That's all they do. So, just saying, the Bible has a lot of amazing things in it, and a contrite heart will not just see surface level. They'll be just like Solomon. The Bible made it clear that Solomon prayed for wisdom. He got it. And it says that people came from all over the world to hear about him talk about trees. To hear about him talk about trees. Well, if you don't know what that means, then that verse means nothing to you. Now, we're just going to say that he had the best explanations of a pecan. No, it's more than that.
That's right. The medulla oblongata, that's the spirit.
The medulla oblongata? That's the spirit. Well, it's definitely the light source, electricity, it's the, I've shot a few of them out, lights out, Bubba, right? You put a pew pew in somebody's noggin, they can still have jerking reactions, right? Yeah, I remember a few times overseas, you put a pew pew right there in this area, and they're still able to fire around after you put one in there. You're like, hey, that ain't supposed to happen.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't know. Thank you for informing me of this information. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. But if you put a pew pew in the Abdullah Oblongata, lights out. There is no reaction. There is nothing. It's like unplugging a light. Lights out completely. But
very dark stuff. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, well, you know what? You're probably right. Sorry. Matter of fact, I apologize that I spoke about that a little too comfortably.
Yeah, you were just saying that like it was like, oh yeah, so you add milk and then flour and then eggs.
That's why I'm like, he's like, right. I'm like, wait a minute. Thank you for that.
Yeah, my bad.
And in other news.
Yeah, sorry. It was
in other news.
It was once my job to blend up a lot of things. I'll just put it that way. For a long time.
Yeah, man, we had.
So I apologize.
Were you in Dre's thing last night with that Hebrew dude?
What happened?
Who is like, oh yeah, you can't trust Strong's because he's like the nefesh doesn't mean the soul. It just means spirit. There is no spirit and soul difference. There's no difference in the Hebrew. Like nonsense. I was like, boy.
Yeah.
You tripping.
Hold on. Amy Boo, you say comfortable with the outer darkness today? No. It was a job that I had for a long time. I was a sniper in Iraq, so you have to know where to shoot. No offense to anybody, but I'm not trying to be. I don't know. Did it for a long time, so it's easy for me to talk about it. I still instruct people to do that. So, it's not something that needs to be uttered here, but obviously, sometimes I'm slipping. Okay, I got caught slipping. Jay got me slipping. It's Jay's fault.
All Jay's fault.
It's all Jay's fault. Over here talking about the third eye. Look, I was just trying to teach you about the third eye. Okay, you don't get it. You don't get it. All right. My bad, Christian. Okay, so there was a guy on the live. What was he saying now? I'm sorry. I was.
He was basically he's a Jewish guy.
Yeah.
Somehow, Jewish concrete worker. It's very different for me, but either way, he was like, you can't trust the Strongs because in the Hebrew Bible the word nefesh doesn't mean soul or something. So he's like, there is no spirit and soul and body. You're just spirit and flesh, and that's it.
Yeah. No, it's.
I was like, you think Trot hasn't looked into that? You think he hasn't looked at that?
Yeah, no, I tore that up. That was the whole point. The whole point of why the confirmation came is because I tore into that. So let him continue to study that, and he'll see there is a distinction between spirit and soul. There is, and it took me a very long time to actually see it. Now, I knew that we were spirit, soul, and body. I knew that, but I needed to be shown like a little bit more. And the first thing you start with is going into the Greek and Hebrew and trying to find out what is spirit and what is soul. Like, where is the difference?
Yeah, he was like, oh, the Hebrew Bible. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, no, but
is he cutting out for anyone?
He didn't know what he was talking about anyway, though, Christian, because he was trying to tell Dre that the Jews is the one who hid the Torah from himself. So he wasn't real read. He wasn't worth debating.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people that's not well read, like hardly at all. Like, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's kind of like one of those movies where a soldier is like, he's like tired of like slaughtering everybody, and then somebody else comes to fight, and he's like, then he's like, rah, rah, rah. Like within 5 seconds, he unalives them, and he's like, is there nobody worthy? You kind of get to that point where people read the black letters on the white page over and over, and for some reason, they don't grow. Do you understand? There's no growth. But they can recite every verse, but there's no growth. And it's like, geez, bro, like, I'm waiting to see Nina J. White and Jennifer whenever she gets here. I'm waiting to see them three go up on a live and start making disciples. When y'all gonna start doing that? I've been waiting for about 2-3 months.
She's on your panel.
Oh man, she must have just got here.
No, she's been up here since you've been talking, sir.
No, heck no. Jennifer, how long you been up here?
Hall pass about 20 minutes ago.
How long you been up here, Jennifer?
10 minutes.
Don't lie, bro.
Yep.
Don't lie, bro. You ain't got a lie to kick it.
She's got 2 witnesses.
Oh, really?
10 minutes.
Witnesses.
Ask the chat.
She got two. She got 2 witnesses. She's got 2 witnesses,
She got
bro.
2 witnesses.
She got 2 witnesses.
That's right.
She been here.
Yep.
Misunderstood. I ain't trying to hear you.
Problem.
You're always on the woman's side. I ain't trying to hear you. I ain't trying to hear you, misunderstood.
She's on the side of truth.
No, she's always like, if a woman's talking, she's like, yep, 100%. It's a woman. It's a woman.
Listen.
It's a woman talking. She said the truth. Some of you women trip me out. You know, there's women that they hate masculine guys. Y'all women trip me out. The ones that hate masculine. If it's a masculine,
I was
do they?
gonna say, but there's women who love masculine guys. So where are we going?
No,
with
of course. Well, I'm trying to get there. You're diverting. I know there's women that like them. I'm saying there's women that don't like them. Like there's women that wish they were more manly than a man. And if a man is being manly, okay, and I ain't talking about stupid and cussing people out. That's not what I'm talking about. Just saying he's a masculine dude. Women hate him. They can't. They can't stand him.
You're right.
It's weird.
It is a lot of ladies.
It's so weird. Hey, there's even some on. There's even some on TikTok, and they go out. To me, they go out pick it. Like they go out looking for these dudes, and when they find one, then they force the woman preacher thing on them. Women can preach. You don't tell me. Like, boy, there's a fight. Now they're fighting, but the whole time the women.
It's a pygmisha.
It's a what's that?
They're called pygmisha.
What's that?
They're called pygmishas. Women who want to be picked, and they've never been picked.
What do you mean picked? How picked? Like what picked?
Like
Picked to be your spouse. Pick me.
Yeah.
Oh.
So then they coddle bad behavior. They will laugh at dumb jokes. That is not funny. Then they will go ahead and they will agree, even when they know deep down it's not correct. But you don't say I agree with women, because you know I don't. But you called me passive aggressive like 2 weeks ago.
What's your point? You're being passive aggressive.
Like 2 years ago you were aggressive, so I mean we're making
Yeah. 2 years ago she was like, you listen here now. I'm like, oh shoot, get her off the panel. And now she's being passive. Hey, next time she's gonna be assertive, and I'm like, dang.
That's right.
Dang. Now I can't say nothing.
Okay, so
dang.
Explain to me, because you know what, I'm trying to figure this out. How am I passive aggressive? And I'm being serious.
I don't know. You should have asked. You should have asked that day. You should have asked that day. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Well, I was at work. Like right now, I'm at work.
Yeah.
So honestly, because my husband says the same thing and it's causing a problem, but he's not.
Why don't we just go over again what passive aggressive is? We just go over what it is. That's all you got to do.
Let's do it.
That's it.
Okay.
We're gonna go over it again.
Let's do it so I can drop down.
Yeah, go ahead, drop. All right, so
drop down, but I want to say Jennifer's out there doing it. You're just sleeping in the nighttime when she's out there doing it.
Oh.
Yeah. We all do it. We just don't
You been
stand
going
on
live?
the corner.
She been bringing the sisters up in lives at nighttime.
Yeah, but I'm talking about discipling people, not them just going up there and hanging out.
Hey,
But
where's these? Where's these strong masculine men that we was discussing earlier? Which lives is these? I haven't. Which lives is these? They are.
I'm not really.
TikTok, sis.
I'm not really referring. I'm not really referring to TikTok.
Definitely not.
I'm just talking about in general. But I said there are some of those kind of women. But there are those kind of women on TikTok where they hate those kind of guys. I'm not saying those guys are on TikTok. I'm sure they are somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm saying
Okay, I thought it was a secret being shared that I didn't know
we
about.
wanted to know where to go. We need
Jay's like, we trying to get to that live. Jay's like, we trying to get to that live. Try you fun and all, but we trying to get to that live.
I'm trying to be a mod over there. I don't know about y'all.
Golly, man.
I have never heard so many men that cry until I came onto TikTok. They cry all day long.
Oh, they're everywhere, bro. Yeah, every country I go to, everywhere that I've been, there ain't a person that I have been across every type of dude. You name it, I've been across them 100 times over, 1,000 times over. As soon as why do you think I picked up on Christians? So I was the only one. Everybody's like, oh, little Christian. And I'm like, I know which one he is. He's right there. One of those guys right there. It's like, Christian, come here. Come wipe the mud off my boots. What? How dare you say that to me? Yeah, I'm just saying it. I got to pick on you some. Got to get that sissy out of you. Don't worry. Everybody got to get it out. Everybody got to get it out.
You're lucky my service is bad and you can't hear me, Trot.
What'd he say? What'd he say?
I have no idea what he said. That's the second time today.
I said you can't hear me. My service is bad.
Oh, his service is bad. Why? Okay, well, you don't have to tell us, but does anybody know why his service is bad?
Maybe because he's eating. I don't know.
Okay, his service is bad. All right. I thought I heard him eating a while ago. I don't know what I don't even know what I think I even heard him say, if that makes any sense. But he was talking to Nina, and Nina said something to him, and he's like, "Well," and I was like, "Man, get out of here!" I thought he was crunching on something.
You know, he said it himself. I said, "What in the world did you just say?" And he's like, "Trump eating something."
Yeah, well, that's what I thought he said. That's what I thought he said. Now he's trying to make it sound like it's his internet. He's got his internet cable. He cut the rubber off and he's touching it with the little piece of wood. Man. Yeah. No, I just think it's funny that these women, they hate masculine dudes. And they make up all kinds of, I can't even remember the weird names they give these. They don't call them masculine. They won't call them masculine because they know that guy would like that name. So they called him some kind of male, but I don't remember.
Alpha.
No, they won't.
Males.
No, they won't call him an alpha because alpha.
Beta males.
I don't know. What's a beta male? What is that?
Well, it's the opposite of
It's
alpha
lower than
male.
an alpha. It's like a soft diaper, baby diaper. It's like
Listen, on TikTok they had this thing for a while that was called my soft guy era. I'm in my soft guy era. You heard of that?
Soft guy era.
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's when they're
I ain't never heard of that. They not saying that over here on my streets. I'm telling you that right now.
That was going on like a year ago. It's when they sit back and let a woman take care of them and do everything for them, and essentially they use women as sugar mamas.
Oh, what is it called?
Soft guy era.
Soft guy
era.
Soft guy era. Huh.
I'm in my soft guy era. That's what they call it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
It's crazy.
The women wears the pants. That's Christian's life. That's what Lauren put. She said the women wears the pants. I said, yeah, that's Christian's life right there. She wears all the pants. I think the best Christian gets with wearing pants is like those what do you call capris? What do you call them?
Corduroys.
Corduroy.
You are the Capri Sun there, buddy.
Christian, you can't throw the same thing at me that I said to you, bro. You got to say something different. It was for guys that are tired of taking care of women.
Well, I was saying something, but you couldn't hear me. When she said she's in your soft guy, they're their soft guy or whatever she said.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, went into that. He ain't never come out.
Soft guy era? I don't even know what that is.
It's not true. That's literally they're
He confused.
Oh my Lord. They're literally talking about like they've been taking care of women, so it's time for the women to take care of them. That's literally what it means.
So they're tired of taking care of women, huh?
Yeah, what I would like to call it is sitting on mama's couch era. That's really what it is.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you. Listen, it ain't no era. They're trying to act like it's something. No, listen. Mama's boy. That's it. Mama's boy.
Exactly.
What happened was he dated a girl. Hold on a second. Tom, what'd you say? Khakis? No, not khakis. Guys, listen. What? It's like they're like half pants, half shorts. What are those things called?
Yeah, he's talking about capris.
Capris, ain't that what they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, capris. I said it right. Yeah, that's the closest to jeans that Christian's wife lets him wear. He can't wear them all the way down to the ankle. He get in trouble.
Oh my God, bruh.
Or capri.
Strict.
Mama, she's strict. She knows he's a mama's boy, and she gonna take advantage of it. Eric put long shorts. No, Eric, listen. Shorts are for guys are either 1 inch above the knee or at the knee, and then we could probably go as far as 1 inch below the knee. Those for guys, if you can see the knee only. All right. Now, if you can see half your thigh, that's not shorts. Okay. I don't know what the heck you're wearing. They're not shorts. But if your shorts are about 1 inch or a half inch above the knee, those are just shorts. If they're at the knee, shorts. If you can't even see the knee because it's an inch too long, they're shorts. After that, now you got I can barely see my calves. Those are long shorts. And I've seen guys wear those before. You can barely even see their calf muscles. I ain't talking about them because shorts, the opening is still, the size of the shorts. But capris, bro, they get skinny at the end, bro. Right? And they got the little stringy things, like the one Chris would be wearing. He'd be tightening them up all the way. Like you can see like the bottom of the calf, like it's a little bit longer.
Are you talking about them old Navy pants with the little strings?
That's the capris, bro. That's for women. Yeah. Women are wearing it, but a Christian be pulling it off, though. He bought the good brand. He got the good brand.
You be going hard, Trot. You be going hard.
He's like, look, I'm wearing long shorts.
Segue.
Hey,
oh, Lord.
Look, hey, his wife told him, honey, it's okay. Put your Adidas on and show him, baby. Show him. You can show him. He got one pair. He got one. Hey, matter of fact, look, he's outside weed eating. It's the only time he gets to wear them. That's it. Yeah. Hey, he goes in that house. He goes in that. Hey, he goes in.
The man's outside taking care of the yard. Trot's inside with the ladies sitting on the couch.
What ladies? What ladies?
This is a perfect segue for passive aggressive.
Wait a second. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's actually a good. Yeah, there, right there.
No, it's not. I'm being actively aggressive.
No. That right there, what you just did. No, that's passive aggressive, bro. What you just did, bro. That's a good example.
Passive aggressive, and you saying I wear capris. Get off the gas.
Wait, hold on a second. Saying that you wear capris, that's not passive aggressive. If I say you wear capris,
yes, it is.
No, it's not. I'm making fun of you. That's not
passive aggressive to say that than to me saying you're inside with the women.
No, but your comeback was to put me down. I'm just telling everybody what it is. You're a mama's boy. I'm not putting you down. You're
the whole capri thing and saying that my wife wears the pants is to put me down.
No, not if it's true. What are you talking about? No, everybody knows.
It's not true,
bro. I have more man in my pinky than you do in your whole body. What are you talking about, bro? So you're being passive. I don't know. I don't know what he's saying.
He just is. Christian, I gotta thank you so much because you give me so much material.
What'd he say? What'd he say? Christian, what'd you say?
Or a Billy? I don't know. A bully?
I called you a Billy.
What is that?
Don't worry about it. If you know, you know.
To go up. That's passive aggressive.
See, that's passive aggressive, bro. What are you talking about? Somebody tell me what a Billy is.
I don't know.
Somebody knows.
I think that's a Christian word.
Well, of course it is, bro. His wife says it to him all the time. He knows what all those words mean. Somebody tell me.
Bro, get off the gas. You started it. Don't be mad. Don't start crying now.
So finish it. What's a Billy?
Hey, what's a Billy, bro?
Billy.
Kristen, what's a Billy?
Don't run.
Essentially, it's a small kid.
A Billy? I ain't never heard that.
Like you call somebody little Billy, little Timmy.
Oh, little Timmy, little Billy. Okay, now why'd you call me that?
Yeah.
All he's got to work with is that you're short.
Oh, well, that's fine. That's fair. That's fair. I am short. All right. Yeah. Okay. So misunderstood.
Shouldn't
All right.
you be building a pool right now?
Yeah, bro. That's all I've been doing. It's almost leveled. Calm down. I got about 25% of it leveled. Well, I told. Hey, y'all didn't see on there on the chat. Oh no, you didn't see it. But I said I'll be done in a couple of weeks. Sando's like, wow. Sando, what is the wow for? Oh, maybe he thinks you're saying that I'm building the pool because I'm Hispanic, and Hispanics need to go out, stand in the sun, and work.
Bro, listen, my service, I can't even properly engage with y'all because you're cutting in and out.
Nah, you're good. You're good. No, Sando, I'm literally building a pool outside my house. Hey, Christian, Sando thought you were saying go build a pool because I'm Hispanic.
You're not even Hispanic. You're from Spain.
Yeah, but that's still Hispanic. That's Hispanic.
What in the world? How is that not Hispanic?
Christian, what are you talking about? That's Hispanic. Spain, Puerto Rico, Mexico, El Salvador, those are all Hispanics. They're all Hispanics. Now, depending what country you're from, so you call all of them are Hispanics, okay? But depending on the country, that's when you start naming them like where they're from. Like that person's from Mexico, that's a Mexican. They're from Spain, they're Spanish. Like you don't call someone from Spain Mexican. They're from Spain, not Mexico.
Well, of course I wouldn't call them Mexican. That's what I was trying to say.
I know with that, okay. but that's why I said Hispanic.
Spanish, yeah, so Hispanic, yeah.
Hispanic, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't have to say because I'm not literally from Spain, so I don't really feel right saying I'm Spanish.
Christian would prefer you call yourself Latino.
Oh, Latino. Lauren said I'm building an ark. All right. So let's go over aggressive, and I think everybody here pretty much knows what that is. But we're going to go over aggressive, passive aggressive, and assertive. Okay, and then we can't go over passiveness. All right. So, and I know it's crazy. It's like some people forget, so they just want to go over it again, and that's fine. I don't got a problem with it. I think aggression is real easy, okay? Aggressive. So let's look at the definition of these words so everybody can at least, mutter over how the definition is explained. Who's going to be my definitioner? Who's that? Who's going to be that person?
I got you.
All right, Alex. So we're going to start with aggressive. So look up the word aggressive in the dictionary, okay? Not the Hebrew, not the Greek. It'd be funny. Hey, be funny if Nina's like, man, I don't find that word. Are you in the Strongs, Nina? Yeah, Nina, put the Strongs down. Put the Strongs down. I think you have been stronging it too long. You need to take 2 days off. Hey, let me tell you something, guys.
I did.
No, listen, I'm serious. There sometimes on the weekend, all right, like just take off 2 days. Take off that Saturday, that Sunday, pick back up Monday. I'm not saying do it all the time, but every
weekend.
Dude, every once in a while, put the stuff down, okay? All right, aggressive. What's the definition, Alex?
Ready or likely to attack or to confront someone.
All right.
Behaving or done in a determined or forceful way.
All right, so let's do this. Okay, look, guys, we really know what a lot of these words mean. It doesn't hurt to go over it again, okay? So you can remind yourself to calm the heck down. All right, so aggressive. Give me one sentence, Alex. Ready to attack. Can we just say that? Is that what it's?
Ready to attack.
All right. Ready
or likely to attack.
Do what?
Or likely.
Ready or likely. Okay, let's do that. That's fair. Like, y'all see how sometimes people will come up on descaled and they're like, man. They'll come up on descaled and you can tell that they were ready or likely to attack. Aggressive. All right, so that is aggressive. All right, so now let's go to let's go to passive. Let's go to passive next.
We have it here. It's accepting or allowing what happens or what others do without active response or resistance.
Okay, I'm going to put allowing others. Can I just put to do?
Allowing what others do without active response.
Okay, allowing. I'm going to put what people do without response. We pretty much had to write that whole thing down the way it's. I need to resize that. That's a little too big. Get over here. All right, so we started at aggressive. We went all the way down to passive. So let's work our way back up. Let's look at passive aggressive.
Characterized by indirect resistance to the demands of others.
Okay, say it again.
Okay.
Characterized by indirect resistance to the demands of others and avoiding direct confrontation. Just put that down.
Okay.
Avoiding direct confrontation.
Yeah, we're gonna put avoiding direct confrontation. All right, now let's go over assertive. Oh, that's trash. There we go. All right, let's go over assertive.
Showing a confident and forceful personality.
All right, so notice it says confident. Okay, confident and forceful personality. All right. Let me tell you what people do. People try to add assertiveness and aggressiveness together. They try to add it. You can't add it. You can't be aggressive and then at the same time, like, you're confident in your aggressiveness, and then you think you're being assertive. So, let's see, is rolling your eyes being aggressive?
No, that's passive.
Anybody? Is rolling your eyes being aggressive? Anybody else?
No, I would say no.
Say yes.
All right, we got a no and a yes. All right, so if you're saying no, I need to know why it's a no. If you're saying yes, I need to know why it's a yes. Who's going first?
Well, it could be, the reason I said no was because you're not directly looking for a confrontation.
All right. Okay.
I would say it is being, like the way I think of it, obviously someone's going to take offense by you rolling your eyes unless they are just going to brush you off. So, yeah.
So what? What is it then?
It's aggressive.
Okay. Jacob, what's up, man? All right, Nina, what's up? Jay, what's up? Is rolling your eyes aggressive?
Can I get the definition of passive aggressive again?
Passive aggressive is avoiding direct confrontation.
I would call that rolling your eyes.
Okay, so then that means it's aggressive. Right?
If it's passive aggressive, it's aggressive.
It's aggressive, yeah.
I didn't want to answer because that's kind of like, I never really thought about it. It's like a way of life for me. I'm sorry.
I know your way of life is wrong. You need to change the way you think. Do not be conformed to this world. Be you transformed by the renewing of your mind, ma'am. By the renewing of your mind. That's why I talk about aggressive, passive aggressive, and assertive, because nobody wants to change the way they think. That's the problem. You need to change the way you think. What?
I will call it aggressive because it is like you're trying to avoid if you roll your eye, I'd rather roll my eyes than open my mouth. So.
Okay. So therefore, it's aggressive. Now, the reason that people won't admit it's aggressive because they think aggressive is slapping someone in the face. That's aggressive too. Watch this. Watch this. Let's see where we're at. If all of us were in a room, all of us, okay? And I screamed real loud. I'm talking loud. Like I came in the room and I was just like, at ease. Like I screamed. And everybody, let's say there's 50 people in the room. And everybody was like, oh, shoot. And I said, why y'all flinching? I didn't touch you. What would y'all say?
Bruh, you just screamed to the top of your lungs.
I didn't touch you. I didn't touch you.
But you know what? You irritated me, so I don't know what to say about that.
All right, so I control your emotions? So I'm your God then. I control you.
Bro, here we go.
Well, wait a second. What if
sir.
you're yelling startled somebody?
No. The scenario is not going to change. I screamed and every one of y'all jumped. And I said, what? I didn't touch y'all.
Right.
We're not changing the scenario. The scenario is simple. I screamed. Everybody jumped, flinched. And I said, what are y'all? I didn't touch none of y'all. Tell me about it. What happened? Did I touch you? Did I not touch you? Are y'all lying? Are y'all telling the truth? What? What happened?
You didn't touch us. You're not lying, but you startled us. So I don't really understand where we're going.
Put us in defense mode.
Do what?
You put us in defense mode, and that only happens if you're aggressive.
Okay. So
He's tracking.
So the truth is, I did touch you. I touched every one of you.
It touched a nerve.
No, didn't touch. No. A scream causes vibrations, and the hairs in your ear picks up on those vibrations, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so watch this. Let's say I had a machine that was loud enough to bust an eardrum, okay? And all y'all are in the room, and I walk in, and I got protective
Ear gear.
No, there's a name for the thing, though. We could say headgear. We could say, that's fine. Fine, we could say earplugs. Okay, they're called something else, but because earplugs wouldn't work. But anyway, but I got protective hearing gear on. Okay, whatever. I can't remember what that thing's called. Anyhow, but I walk in and I hit it, and every one of y'all, all 50
It's literally an earmuff.
Do what?
Earmuffs.
No,
range earmuffs.
It's warm, Christian.
Listen.
Not that. I'm not talking about the middle of winter in Santa Claus. There are earmuffs for ranges with pew-pews.
Yeah, you're speaking to an expert regarding Ranger. Listen to what I'm saying. Jacob said ear pro. No, ear pro wouldn't work. Listen, guys, Christian, listen to what I'm saying. The machine, first of all, the machine I'm talking about is real, okay? Listen to what I'm telling you. I said it will bust your eardrums if you hear it. Do you understand, Christian?
I did not hear that. No, there's...
Okay,
again,
listen.
Sounds like to the bad service.
Listen. Ear plugs, ear muffs are not going to work with this, okay? Alex said ear defenders. All right. The point is, I walk in the room, I turn it on, and everybody, all 50 of your eardrums bust. Do I go to jail?
Yes, sir.
But I didn't. But I didn't.
What a grade.
But I didn't touch nobody. I didn't touch nobody though.
Doesn't matter. Still assault.
How?
Super
How is it
aggressive.
assault? I didn't touch nobody.
Because you caused injury.
Right. So the element of the crime wouldn't be knowing and intentionally. I wouldn't go to jail because I knowingly or intentionally. Now, in this case, I knowingly did it because I said I did it on purpose. But I'm saying, but if I was to cause a noise that by accident busted people's eardrums, that's still under the element reckless. Do you understand? Reckless. Right? So if somebody's in a skyscraper cleaning the tall, 50-story buildings and they drop a tool and it hits somebody and it unalives them, do I go to jail?
For negligence.
Yeah, right.
For
But
negligence.
for negligence. But again, it's under the element of reckless. You understand? They're not going to say you. They're not going to say you knowingly and intentionally. That would be murder. So this is manslaughter. So they're going to say it was an accident, but you still caused it. You going to jail, right?
Yeah, I was just about to say it's murder versus
All right.
murder.
Okay,
Murder.
so I went to the extreme with the loud noise busting eardrums because that person would go to jail, period, because the noise did touch them. How are your ears bleeding if something didn't touch you? Something touched you, right?
The sound waves.
Sound waves, right? So when people start yelling, they're yelling because they are embarrassed that if they put their hands on you, they would look stupid. So they yell because they are stupid. You understand? Or no? Hello?
I understand.
But we're
Right.
going free to elaborate.
So yelling is aggressive. Some people would say, well, we know that. I don't think you know. I don't think you know it as much as you should. Yelling, you're already touching the person. You're already touching them with sound waves. So your loud, stupid mouth is irritating someone on the inside of their head. They're not irritated by what you're saying, but they're starting to get a headache because of your loud mouth, because you're being aggressive. So when someone starts yelling and then the other person starts getting kind of offended, like, hey, bro, calm down. Oh, why you in your feelings? Bro, they're not in, they're not in their feelings. They're not under, first of all, I always say that people aren't as dumb as they act, okay? So when you yell, you could irritate the inside of that person's eardrum, okay? So when you yell, it is not just a little aggressive. It's very aggressive, okay? Very. But you're actually touching them. You are. But people will say, nuh-uh, my hands were behind my back. Bro, sound waves touches people's ears. You're touching, okay? So why am I pointing that out? Does anybody know why I'm pointing that out?
You don't have to touch someone to be aggressive.
You don't have to touch someone to be aggressive. So if you roll your eyes, you're being aggressive. It's an aggressive action. Even that little thing, it's aggressive. So your 5 senses, you can be aggressive to all 5 senses, all of them. If I get something that hurts your senses, right? Let's say I get like a chlorine bomb, a small one, not a big one, but I blow it up right in front of you. Now you got to understand, it's not going to really go kaboom. Not all of them will go kaboom, but a chemical reaction will happen and it'll burn the inside of your nostrils. Farting is aggressive. Yes, farting is aggressive. If you didn't know that, you can go to jail for farting in public if you didn't know that. So,
You talking about in Texas?
yes, in Texas. Probably in your state
It's a law
too.
in Florida too.
I'm sure.
It's a law in Florida.
I'm pretty sure.
So you probably right. It's probably
I got a question.
Yeah.
What if it's a silent one? and nobody knows who did it.
SPD.
Well,
What about SPD?
Yeah, well,
Judge gonna say first one
well,
snuffed it,
again, you know, it's just like anything else. You know, if there's 20 people in a store and somebody comes up and slaps you in the back of your head, and you turn around, there's 7 people right there. How do you know who did it? There better be a camera. They're not going to be able to put anyone in jail if you don't know who did it. You understand?
Yep.
All right. But what I'm saying is you can offend someone utilizing all 5 senses. You can create a smell. It doesn't have to be from your body. You can go get, like I said, like a chlorine bomb and make it go off in front of someone, and it could burn the inside of their nose to the point that they might have to go to the hospital. And you're gonna be like, well, I didn't touch nobody. Okay, a noise can be so loud that it could affect them, right? So you have this. Hold on, let me finish this. You have a smell, you have hearing, right? And we know we can affect somebody by touching them, right? So we got touch, we got smell, right? And you got hearing, you got 2 left, seeing and tasting. How can you affect somebody with how can you be aggressive to someone visually or through taste?
I can answer that. The visual part, I had an experience 2 days ago where I was in the laundromat, and I had. Well,
hold on. Before hold on. No. Before you go through examples, let's finish this, and you can go through your example, guys. Give me an example. Okay. Give me an example of how you can be aggressive towards someone visually.
You can make a poster which would be racist.
Okay, right, and they see it, right?
Yes.
And that's aggressive. What you just did, that racist thing you did, you know it was aggressive. The person sees it. Now they get mad, and you say, "What? I didn't say nothing. I didn't touch you." It's 5 senses. All right, so let's do the taste. How can you be aggressive to someone through taste?
Well, tell them who to cook, okay?
No. Let's say you put chlorine in somebody's Dr. Pepper, right? Or bleach. Let's say you put bleach in someone's Dr. Pepper,
or some habanero pepper in their food.
Yeah, that's aggressive. All that stuff's aggressive. Get my mom to cook for him. God, this guy, man, you better tell her to get with the program. Shoot. Tell her she better get with the program. Hey, Jacob, I need to call you back, man. I'm glad you popped up here. I totally forgot. Okay, anyway, those are just ways, right? I used hearing first, and Kenny said he's got an example. Don't let us down, Kenny. It better be funny. It better be funny, man, at the end of this.
Okay, check it out. Right. Okay, like I said, I was at the laundromat a couple of days ago, right? And the little baskets that they let you use to put your clothes in, to go to the dryer or whatever. And I was holding on to one. And I stepped outside for a moment, and a guy went up to grab it, and I happened to see him at the window. So I knocked on the window, and I told him, I'm using that. Right, and he fans me off, right, like you said, rolled his eyes and fanned me off, right. So I went in, and as he was grabbing taking the cart to wherever his washing machine was, I grabbed the cart, right, and he tried to pull it, and I held on to it tight, and he let go, and he started violently yelling. Right, calling me all kinds of names and everything, and all that. So. The way he was coming at me and how he was in my face, he didn't have to touch me, but his words were threatening towards me, right? So, I didn't back down. But anyway, that's an example of what hearing, vision, and even hearing and seeing, right? Because he kind of bucked at me. You know what I'm saying? So he was being aggressive with his buck. Now, it may not be that funny, but it was funny to me because that guy is just totally selling wolf tickets.
Yeah.
But
okay, well, that sounds like a lot of people. That sounds like a lot of people on TikTok. They do the same thing. They just don't have an object to grab. But as soon as you Like, as soon as they see that it's not going their way, they're going to start yelling. We have people that come on here all the time. It's like, hey, answer the question. I'm like, whoa, let me get you out of here. Like, who are you? Like, what? You know, bro, every month there's at least one moron that comes in here and just starts demanding, so you're going to answer my question. Who the heck are you? I could have went my whole life without knowing you. What are you talking about?
Amen.
Get the heck out of here, bro. And they're like, I'm speaking the truth. Well, you go speak the truth to the fish in the sea because your attitude is garbage. Your attitude is garbage.
Trot, man.
Oh.
Hey, did you? I'm sorry. Who was that speaking? I'll let you go. I'm sorry about that.
Sorry, that might have been my service again. I'm trying, guys. I really am. Certain example you just used tried to quote the Book of Jubilee as scripture.
What is he talking about? What?
I don't know, Christian. You might want to wait till you're better service, because
No. Trot
But
knows.
you know what?
Trot
He's
knows.
funny,
He
though.
knows. He's playing coy. I'm just telling you that certain, you quoted the Book of Jubilee like it was canon.
You sound low, Christian.
I can't hear nothing he's saying.
he says something about quoting the Book of Jubilee.
What?
Yep, that's
Can
what
you
he
hear me
said.
now?
It was very
now.
random, like out of nowhere.
No, it wasn't. And the reason
No,
why
we're really trying to save you right now, Christian.
That's fine. I'm just saying that the example of one of the things he's talking about right now, when somebody comes in and is like, "Answer me now," tried to quote the Book of Jubilee as canon.
Oh, are you talking about some moron that came in here in the past?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Look, Christian, there's hundreds of them, so I don't know which one you're talking about. I'm not trying to be specific. There's always people trying to quote everything, so maybe you have one in your head. I mean, we don't all need to know about that specific one. You can just say, yeah, I understand because I've been there. So we don't gotta. I'm not trying to like call anybody out individually. There's too many of them, bro. It happens a lot. If I was to ask Jennifer and Nina how many times they seen some moron come up here and literally make himself look like an idiot, what would be the number, Nina?
Hold on, let me get my tally. Hold
yeah,
on,
bro. Like, I think Christian's only seen it 5 or 10 times, bro. It's been hundreds. It's happened so many times. So we're not talking about anyone specific, bro. Jacob, what's up, homeboy?
Hey, what's up, cousin?
What's the deal, bro? What you doing, man?
Just hanging out. We're in Germany right now.
In Germany? Where you at? You in Frankfurt?
Yeah, about 2 hours from Frankfurt.
Ah, you get on the Autobahn yet or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
I got me a 2-liter turbo diesel Volkswagen coupe. It's like 20 years old. Flying down the Autobahn.
Flying. Hey, listen, the first time I went down the Autobahn, bro, it was a group of us. I can't remember what they rented, but that sucker went like 180 miles an hour, whatever it was. I don't remember. And they're like, all right, guys, today's the first time. None of us been on that sucker. But I remembered all the rules. Remember, you run out of gas on the Autobahn, you go into jail. Remember that.
Yeah, I know. They told me that.
You're right. Listen, don't run out of gas. Hey, don't run out of gas. If you see someone needs help, you better stop or you go into jail. If you get a flat tire and you don't change it in time, you go into jail. Listen, make sure you got all 4 brand new tires, full tank of gas. Make sure your vehicle don't break down, bro, and just get it. They just want you to get on and get off. Anyway, we're going for sure 160, somewhere around there, bro, in this car flying. And my buddy's like, hey, man, there's a car coming behind me. Like, they're catching up. I'm like, what? And I'm it's already getting dark, so I could see lights back there. But right when I'm thinking like to try to turn around, see, man, this car passes us, Bubba, like we're moving, like we're sitting still. You hear me? Boom. I'm like, we're like, like, bro, how fast are you going? He's like 160 something. That car had been going 200. Had to, bro. Had to.
Nah, they be flying out there.
Flying down that mug, dude. But again, that was the first time, right? So after several events, it didn't matter anymore. But boy, that first time, man.
Hey guys, is this a straight road or is it curved?
No, it's a lot of it's straight. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it's straight. There'll be some turns in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they gotta be wide if you're going that fast, though, right? They gotta be like some wide, like what I'm trying to say, wide turns. Is this on a mountain?
No, well, it's a 2-lane road. It's not even that. Are you saying like the road being wide? Or are you talking about the turns?
The turns.
Oh yeah, I mean most of the turns are pretty wide.
Yeah, they're wide, bro.
Yeah, 160.
Yeah, they're wide, bro. Like, I mean, it feels like it's not that wide if you're flying, but it's bro. If that turn was in America, like going 75, you'd feel like that turn's taking forever sometimes, but it's not unsafe. Well, in my opinion, it wasn't unsafe. Maybe to others, it might be, but. All right, so where we at? Where we leave off? What? Jen, what's up? We're talking about. Hey, hold on. Jen, we're talking about aggressive, assertive, passive, and passive aggressive. That's what we're talking about right now. What's up?
Well, I'm sorry I missed that.
We're not done. We're not done. You didn't miss it. You didn't miss it. We're not done. We're still talking about it right now.
I just have a quick question.
Oh, all right.
About the emotion.
About emotions?
Do you
okay.
ever cry track for anything? Yeah, do you ever cry?
Like, okay, well, my dad is still alive. The day he dies, I'm going to cry, Jen.
Okay, but right now, nothing has happened in your life that you have
No, but I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to give you an example of what I know for a fact is going to make me cry when my dad dies. I'm trying to get you to see do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay,
what about your wife?
Okay, but huh?
What about the heifer?
What about her?
If she passes away.
Yeah, if she passes away, of course I'm going to mourn. Yeah, I'm going to die. I'm going to cry if she dies, bro. Yeah. Why not?
Or not even die if she gets a disease or sickness or something and she's hospitalized.
Okay, let's say she gets a disease. Let's say she gets hospitalized, and let's say I don't cry. What are you going to say to me?
You're weird.
Okay. Let's say after a year, she's fine, she's healed, and we move on. Okay? Let's say she's hospitalized for almost a year. Okay, you with me?
Yes.
Now I'm going to go to you and say you're weird because nothing happened. She didn't die. And you wanted me to cry. You wanted me to cry, and the Bible says to fear not, but you want me to be in fear.
So then why God gave us emotions?
No, hold on. No. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes.
Okay, so answer my question. Who would be right and who would be wrong? If she goes into the hospital and she's there for about a year, and you're like, man, he's weird. He's not crying. She gets healed. We move on with our life. It's done. I'm going to be able to say, see, there was no reason to cry. And you told me I was weird because I didn't. So now I'm going to say you're weird because you would have cried for nothing. So let's say she goes in the hospital and I start crying. And then within a year, she's healed. What'd I cry for? Jen?
Okay, so then...
No, answer. No, Jen, answer my question. Why did I cry when nothing happened? She didn't die. Why was I crying?
But how are you so sure?
No. Answer my question. Answer me. Is it okay to cry for no reason, Jen?
I feel, yeah.
Okay, I know. And I'm telling you, you're wrong. The Bible does not teach that. That's what I'm telling you. You're wrong. You've been taught.
Why, God? You're not answering my question.
Hold on. Oh, no. Hold on. We're not at that question yet. We're not. That's not where we are. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to show you where you're wrong. I'm telling you, you still believe something that's not true. You've been believing it when you were a kid. You're an adult now. We're not supposed to think like kids anymore. Okay. So you have taken something that was true when you were a kid and you haven't grown out of it. You still think it's true. And I'm telling you it's not true. And I'm showing you, you brought up, what if your family is sick? So I'm using the example you gave me. Just because someone's in the hospital doesn't mean they're going to die, right? Or do you?
Sometimes.
Okay, right. But again, does that mean that they're going to die 100% of the time?
No.
Okay, so then when they're healed, for instance, let's flip the script and let's do it your way, okay? Someone in your family who you love dearly is in the hospital, okay? And you're crying. And I said, why are you crying? And you go, what do you mean? So-and-so's in the hospital. And I said, okay. So let's say a year later, they're out of the hospital. I'm going to come to you and I'm going to say, hey, now I want you to tell me why you cried. What are you going to say?
I'm going to say I cried because I thought the worst.
Right there. I cried because I thought, huh? Because you thought. What is the Bible thought? Shouldn't you be thoughtin' like the Bible?
Yes.
Okay, so then why are you thinking like you when the Bible says that his ways are not our ways? Why do you choose your way over God's way?
I guess I have PTSD, I guess.
Okay, either way, it doesn't matter. Either the way you see it is right or the way God sees it is right. And I'm only going to believe God's way.
The way God sees it is right.
Okay, so if God says to fear not, and he says to not to worry, let your heart not be troubled, count it all joy. If he thinks like this, if he thinks like that and your flesh says, man, the heck with God, I'm going to cry. Who's telling me the truth?
The word of God.
Okay, so if the word of God is true, you have to start telling your flesh to shut up, and you haven't learned how to do that.
Amen.
All right.
I received that.
All right. So,
yep.
So now the question is, why do we have emotions, right?
Yes.
All right. Yes. So let's go over emotions. Okay. So, all right. Or how about better yet, let's go over our senses, because we have senses. Our physical body has senses, right?
Right.
All right. So the five senses are seeing, tasting, smelling, hearing, and touch. So if you're sleeping in your bed and your smoke alarm goes off, what part of you is going to tell you, hey, the smoke alarm's going off? What part of you?
Emotion?
No. What does a smoke alarm do? What does a smoke alarm do?
It starts beeping.
Okay,
like
so
crazy.
what part of your body, regarding your five senses, what part of your body knows that it's beeping? Your taste, you taste it, you could taste the
smell and taste the smoke. So
okay. No, I'm talking about the alarm. What part of your senses is telling you the alarm is going off?
My ears.
Okay. So you need senses here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can't hear the alarm, if you cannot smell the smoke, how do you know your house is on fire when you're sleeping?
Right. You have to have the senses.
Okay. So the senses are to be used when they need to be used, not to be taken advantage of like a little kid and do whatever you want with them.
Right.
You understand? So our senses are part of our emotions. It's part of it. But you use them like an adult, not like a kid.
I got it.
Right? So when we were all kids, our emotions will say one thing and the kid just listens. Right? So when we were all kids, our emotions would say, I need to cry. And you would just cry because your emotions said, right?
But Brother Trump,
no, let me finish. Hey, Jen, I've been doing this for 15 years. Just let me finish. Okay?
Okay, I'll let you finish.
All right. I'm saying when we're adults, shouldn't you be handling your emotions differently, or should you stay the same?
No, you have to mature.
Okay,
like the Bible
all right. So, all right. So what I'm saying is, you can continue to mature. There's not a limit of maturity. You can keep maturing.
Yes.
So it's easy for me to say the truth that I'm saying because I've been living it out for a long time. It's not easy for you because you're not where I am right now. You understand?
Yes.
But that doesn't mean you don't get there. That's not what it means. It doesn't mean, well, I'm not where Trot's at, so I'm not going to bother to get there. That's a harder life for you then. That's more stress for you. You're choosing the stress. It doesn't mean that the circumstance is not hard. It just means you know how to handle it. That's it. That's it. A person that doesn't know how to handle it, they don't because they don't know how. So they give into it, fall apart like a $2 suitcase and say, well, it's okay. It's emotions. Well, then if it's okay, then let me know how that's going for you. Because the point is it's not okay. But it's our choice. That's the good news, though. The good news is at any given time you can better that part of you at any given time. So
there's growth.
There's growth. But you have to allow someone to help you get there. You have to let someone show you. So what people do because they want to hold on to their emotions, right? What people do is they'll lie and say, "Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. That's a lie from the pit of hell." No, bro. No. The other way is the lie. The giving in to your feelings when you're an adult, like you're a kid. That's the lie. Not what I'm saying. I'm going to do what the Bible says to the best of my ability. Nobody is going to be perfect. The Bible, perfect. Nobody. But when you start getting better at something because of the Bible, you'll learn, oh, well, the Bible's not lying. It's telling the truth. It's telling the truth. The Bible's not lying. So you don't think it was hard when Jesus was telling the disciples, okay, guys, now I'm about to die. You don't think that was hard? Could you imagine? Can you imagine walking with Jesus for 3 years and he goes, okay, Jen, I need to tell you something. Gather all the disciples. And you're like, okay. And he's like, okay, guys, the time has come. I have to die. Now, tell me, would you feel sorry, feel sad?
The only way I feel sad is that I won't have him walking with me anymore.
I know, but you'll be sad. But you'll be sad.
Yes.
He's literally, all right, he's literally telling you they're going to murder him. So if you have somebody sick in a hospital, that's sad. But at least someone don't got a chainsaw to their neck right in front of you.
Right.
How would you feel if someone walked in there while your person that you love is on there and they go in there with a bunch of belts and everybody starts whipping them? Would that make it worse?
Oof. Yes.
They're already dying and they're over there whipping them. And then the belts got metal shards ripping right in front of you, ripping their skin off their face. Huh? Okay. Okay. So Jesus told the disciples, these things are going to happen. And right when he says that, he says, fear not. Does that make sense to you? Fear not?
No.
Okay.
That's crazy.
It is crazy, but it's the truth because your flesh is what's crazy. Not him. Your flesh. Not him.
Facts.
All right. So if your flesh is like, look, here comes a hard time. Your flesh is acting like Satan. You're supposed to gird your loins and fear not. Not tell Satan, yes, Satan. No, you're doing the lie. The lie is Jesus said, fear not. That's what he said. So your job is to figure out, how do I do that? Not figure out how to argue against it. No, hold on. No, emotions are good. You're defending Satan and I'm defending God. Makes no sense.
Okay.
You understand? So,
yes.
Until somebody gets sick and tired of being sick and tired, until they get tired of it, they'll stay the same. But when you're tired of being sick and tired, when you're tired of it, you'll allow yourself to understand what the Bible is saying about these things. And then now you'll be able to see a change in that area. You'll be able to see it.
Right.
Right. But it doesn't happen overnight. Doesn't happen overnight. Seed, time, and harvest. Right. Seed, time, and harvest. So that's why we're talking about aggressiveness, passiveness, passive aggressive, assertiveness. That's why we're talking about that, because emotions will lead you to do all of them except for the right one. Right. So we went over being aggressive and we went over being passive aggressive. Right. Passive aggressive is avoiding direct confrontation. Right. That's passive aggressive. So like rolling your eyes. That's aggressive. It's passive aggressive, but it's aggressive. Right. Someone is saying, like right now, I said, OK, well, if you had someone in a hospital and they were dying, you going to cry about it or are you going to not worry about it? But if somebody wants to cry, you know what they're going to do? If they want to cry, and then Trot's telling them, "Don't you cry." So what do? They roll their eyes. Oh my God, listen to this guy telling me not to use my feelings. No, they roll their eyes because they're being aggressive. They're being aggressive, right? So we went over aggressive. Right. We went over passive aggressive, right? Now we're going to talk about being passive. Passive is allowing what people do without response. Allowing what people do, it doesn't matter what it is, with no response whatsoever. Like people call it, you're being a pushover, they'll say. You just let people push you around. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. Some people say, oh, I just do it because I don't want any problems. So passive aggressive, when it says avoiding direct confrontation, notice what it says. Avoiding direct, meaning you don't want it to be direct, so you just roll your eyes. Or, man, hold on. Or
I have a question. Try.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so my question to you is that in regards to what you're stating now, but isn't that also it goes in the same line of thinking that people being the bigger person, that I'm going to just let it go because they push that, because I guess for me, certain things I just let go because I don't want to cause an argument because I know what I saw, I know what I know, and you're choosing not to acknowledge it, choosing not to take accountability.
Well, let's use a scenario. Walk me through. Make up a scenario, and let's let what you're talking about. Let's see.
So I know. Okay, scenario. I know you ate the last piece of cake.
All right.
It's just us in the house.
Right.
You turn around. I didn't eat the cake. I know you did. I didn't eat it. All right.
Okay.
And walk away.
All right. So let's talk. All right. So let's talk about. So you're talking about being a bigger person then, right? Like, there's nothing wrong. Listen, I don't see anything wrong. The person ate the cake. I don't see anything wrong going up to them and say, hey, you ate the last. You're kind of calling them out, right? You're just letting them know that you ate the last piece of cake, right? I don't see anything wrong with that. Right. But being assertive, this is where you want to be assertive, because if you're not assertive, then you're either going to be passive aggressive, which means you're not going to say nothing, or you're going to be aggressive and bring it up, but yet you're not being assertive. You have to be assertive. So if you just bring it up, you're being aggressive.
But that okay.
I know. I'm going to show you. Just let me show you.
Okay. I'll drop down. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. I'm going to go over it. Okay. So if you just go up to someone and say, hey, man, even if you're being nice, right? I'm going to show you. Watch. Here's nice aggressive. Hey, man, I know you ate the last piece of cake. Man. Hey, oh, no, I didn't. Bro, yeah, you did right there. What you just did was aggressive. I know people will disagree. No, it wasn't. Listen. I'm not saying don't bring it up, but you have to do it. You have to be assertive, confident, and forceful personality. But notice it says confident. That means you're not being confident and I can beat you up, so I'm going to bring it up. We're not talking about confident in your fighting skills. We're saying confident while you have a forceful personality. You're being confident. Matter of fact, let's look up the word confident. Alex, you there? Alex, who can look up confident real quick? I just want everybody to hear the definition. Somebody, confident. Everybody already.
I got you.
All right. Confident. What is it?
Feeling or showing confidence in yourself or your abilities.
Yeah, I need a better definition for confident. Look up the Oxford Dictionary.
That is the Oxford.
That's the Oxford. Go somewhere else then. That's a horrible explanation. Feeling confident. Nah.
Let me see. Feeling or showing certainty about something.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so showing certainty.
Yes, sir.
About something. All right, so you are certain, right? You're certain about what you're talking about. You're certain. You're showing certainty about something, meaning you know for sure about whatever this is. So like if someone tells you, do you know how to make coffee? And you go, absolutely. Matter of fact, I'm about to make the best cup of coffee you ever had. So you're using that confidence. You're using that while you're being assertive. You're using that confidence, but you're having a forceful personality. That's not the same thing as being aggressive. So I'm going to show you. So the scenario that Misunderstood bring up, someone ate the last piece of cake. So before you bring it up, you have to already know, okay, I got to be assertive. So being assertive is kind of quickly getting to the punchline. All right. Now, if they try to interrupt you, you say, please just let me finish. You have to keep saying, please. I don't care how much you don't like them. Please just let me finish. Okay. Now, again, we're talking about coworkers, family. I'm not talking about morons on TikTok that come into your live and, hey, you're going to answer my question. Get the heck out of my room. Okay. If someone is being stupid, sometimes you just got to be stupid to get them out of the way. When I'm talking about being assertive, or we're going over these words, guys, we're talking about people you are around in your daily lives, okay? I'm not talking about someone that turned on stupid before they even came into your life. I'm not talking about them. There is no assertive anymore. Okay, someone comes in the room, hey, man, I don't like what you're saying, and you got some explaining to do. Man, get the heck out of here. Bro, they've already came in high as a kite, drunk, or intoxicated on their flesh. There is no coming back from that unless they immediately say, hold on, my bad. You know what? Maybe I came on a little too strong. Okay, so you do acknowledge that you're tripping. All right, if you can acknowledge that, maybe we can move on. Sometimes they don't want to acknowledge it. They just want to fight and argue. You know how you know? Because they never stop. They don't shut their stupid mouth. They just keep talking. And then while you're trying to answer, he's like, okay, well, let me just say, no, answer my question. You're like, oh my God, bro, hey, I'm trying. No. Bro, I think these people are nuts. So I'm not talking about them, all right? I'm not talking about TikTok here. I'm talking about every day in your daily life. So someone ate the last piece of cake. If you forget to say, I would prefer, if you forget to say, I would prefer, then you're aggressive. Because anything other than I would prefer, anything other than that, you're being aggressive. You have to make sure to say that.
Can I give you an example?
Right? Yeah. Hold on. Well, let me finish. I'm almost done. So So let's say the person that ate the last piece of cake is Tommy. I'm just making up a name. Say, hey, Tommy, I would prefer that you don't eat the last piece of cake. I would prefer that you wouldn't eat now again, it would be awesome if you had them on camera eating it. All right. If you don't have them on camera, then they are able to, quote unquote, argue with you and just deny it. Y'all don't know the deny game? They will deny. If that's the game they're going to play and you don't have footage, then I'm going to be honest with you. If you know that they're that kind of person, you trying to be assertive is you being aggressive. You already know, bro, that they're going to deny. It's no longer about you being assertive because you already know that they're going to deny it, which means you're going up there, you're going to be aggressive to them. But if you got them on footage, now you can keep cool. You can say, hey, man, I would prefer that you wouldn't eat the last piece of cake, especially if you already ate 80% of it. I would prefer that, please, next time. They may not like it, but you're very confident that you know that they did it. You're very confident in what you're saying, but yet you're saying, I would prefer you not to do that. That's what I would prefer. Okay. So if you already know they're going to act stupid, that I'm telling you, you're the aggressor. I'm telling you right now, you already know they're going to act stupid when you bring it up. But if you got them on camera, you could say, hey, I would prefer, you not to eat the last piece of cake, especially if you ate 80-90% of it already. Like I only had one piece and that was going to be my second piece and I didn't get it. You ate the whole cake. In the future, I would prefer you not to do that. Do you understand? That's very assertive. That's assertive. Now, if they go, I didn't eat the last piece. All right. Is that you? Man, get out of here. That's their choice. Listen, if they want to act crazy and like a numbskull, that is on them. But you're bringing proof that you know it was them. Now they can't say you're just making it up. Nah, it wasn't me. You don't know it was me. You're just saying. They can't say that now. You got proof. And that is why you're bringing it to their attention. Okay. Now, let's say you got a person that's not like that, and they're actually cool majority of the time. You can mess that up by saying, hey, man, I know you ate that last piece of cake, and, I think that was wrong. That's aggressive. What you just did was aggressive. I know it was you, and it's wrong. Judgmental, aggressive. All I'm saying is you don't have to say it like that. You can be assertive and say, hey, I would appreciate it, or I would prefer if you didn't eat the last cake, man, especially after you ate like 80% of the cake. There is nothing wrong with you just said. You're saying you would prefer. You can't be passive. You cannot be passive. That's a issue. But you got to bring up a problem when there's a problem, but there's only one way to do it, and it's being assertive. It's the only way to do it. So, Jen, what were you going to say?
Yes. What about if a person, a relative, comes up to your face, grinding their teeth and saying, I wish I could hurt you, or saying, I will strangle you right now. They're right in your face doing all of that.
Yeah.
So how are you supposed to act?
Well, has that person ever acted like that before?
Many years ago.
Yeah. Family, it's a sketchy thing because people don't want to, Deftone said, you dial 911. Well, that's true, but, under certain circumstances, it depends, are they drunk? How often does it happen? There's a lot of things to look at. If it's something...
No, they're not drunk. Nothing.
So they're sober?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sober.
Yeah. So here's my thing.
No.
Here's my thing. I'm with Deftones. If someone's acting like that, I get it. An option is to dial 911. For me though, personally, if it's family, I'm probably not being around that person again. Okay. Because if they're not doing it to anyone else, for whatever reason, they might have a problem with just me or something, then I'm not going to put them in that predicament or me. I don't want them to go to jail. For whatever reason, they got a problem with me, but I'm not going to put myself around them. But if I start hearing they do it to other people in the family, you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to tell everybody in the family, if you don't call the cops, I'm calling the cops. So if they're having a party again, I don't care if I got to go wait outside and listen. I see him acting like a fool, I'm dialing 911 right there. And I'm going to record what I'm seeing him doing, or her, whatever.
It's like I saw the enemy right there in my face.
Well, yeah, but again, that's the flesh. That's the flesh, right? So the flesh.
I'm gonna cry. That's family. You know what I'm saying?
Well, okay. I mean, yeah, but but again, you're mourning, right?
Because that should have not been done to me.
All right. But what you're talking about is mourning, though, Jen. The Bible says to mourn with those who are mourning. It's okay to mourn. So, like, if a family member is acting like a complete lunatic, it's okay to mourn. Like you're sad that, wow, bro, like you're going to act like this to your own family. Like, first of all, you shouldn't be acting like that to anybody, but it is going to be a little hurtful. You're doing it to your own family, dude. So there's nothing wrong with mourning, but how long you mourn about it could be the problem, right? So let's say it happens right there, right there. And then the person leaves. Let's just say they leave. And the person
I was going to hit him with the cane.
Well, yeah, you better not. You'll be doing descaled in the cell. We'll tell Jen to go live in the cell. You know? So, you know, what you got to do is you got to ask yourself, like, you know, should I be around this person anymore? Like, you know, because, you know, that's again, though, you're talking about mourning, though. You're talking about there's nothing wrong with.
I live with them here.
Okay, well, then you got some choices to make. You know, you got some choices to make. It's your choice. You know, you got to decide, is it worth staying in that environment or not?
No, it's not.
Okay, so if it's
not.
Okay, so, you know, if you said to yourself, this is not healthy, then
at all.
All right, well, then you gotta decide, you know, if it's not healthy, you know, do I need to leave? But again, it's your choice. If you do decide to leave because you're saying, and again, you know, I don't know the situation, I don't know the scenario, I don't have to know it, but there's nothing wrong with seeking personal safety. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. So you just got to find, you know, someone that you trust, that is either family, friend, you know, and you know, discuss it with them and get them to help you format, you know, a battle plan. And I'm not talking about a battle plan on hurting the person. I'm talking about what's the plan on removing myself from this unsafe environment. Yeah. You know, if it's, you know, I had like I said, I don't have to know the story personally. I don't have to know all that. But I had a friend one time, and it was her husband that was doing this. You know, her husband was doing this, and the Bible makes it clear that God hates divorce. The Bible makes it very clear. So I told her, I said, you can't ask me what you would do. You have to decide, is it healthy for me to be here or not? If the answer is maybe not right now, then if you feel like that, you know, I told her, if you feel like you need to leave the unstable environment, then maybe that's what you need to do for a little bit, you know. But, you know, we have to remind ourselves that, you know, in her case, right, I told her that the Bible hates divorce and you need to stay with your husband. I told her. She's like, well, what if he hurts me? I said, I've already went over this. If you believe that this is unstable and you're going to get hurt, then personal safety, there's nothing wrong with you seeking personal safety. So, but like I said, everybody has to make their decision. Now, you know, I think it was her cousin. I think it was that lady's cousin. She had a husband that, you know, he wasn't hurting her or threatening her, nothing like that. But he would just like not come home. Be like 2 days would go by. This dude would just show up. And she wanted a divorce. And I was like, that's not how you handle that. You need to figure out what the problem is. You need to talk, figure out what the problem is, bring that person back into the relationship and try to go seek some counseling on what the issue is. Like, you have to discuss things. And I want to say it took that lady a couple of years, but she finally, it might have been 3 years, but she finally got the guy to come around. And I'm not saying come around her more. I'm saying in his senses to come around that, you know, whatever he was doing, it's not worth it. And so they were able to work it out, but it took 2 or 3 years. Again, she wasn't in distress though, right? The guy wasn't hurting her. Again, I'm only bringing this up because there's other people listening that may be going through something like that. But number one, if you feel as though that you or someone else is in danger and that person lives there in the house, you have to remove yourself. You have to remove yourself. Yeah. You know, I don't know the circumstance.
That's my plans.
Yeah, you got it. But the worst thing you could do is talk about it. You can't tell the people, you know, again, if it's a brother or uncle or whoever might be living with you, you can't tell them, well, I'm leaving one day. You can't do that. If the decision is,
why you can't do that?
Let me give you a reason why it's not.
I'm leaving one day, and you're gonna repent for the way you treated me.
No. Okay, look, you do whatever you want. Let me give you a police perspective. What I've seen. Okay, so many times, somebody gets a call to a house, so I show up with them for backup. So I show up, and the dude beat her up, and there he is, and the officer that was called there, he puts him in handcuffs, and I'm there, and I'm looking, and and I'm giving you a call that happens over and over. We're talking 2-3 times every day. It's someone different, and you'll hear the story because the cop's gonna ask, "Hey, what happened?" Well, I told him I was leaving and he beat me up. One. A few days later, what happened? I told him I was leaving and he beat me up. After a while, it doesn't take me long to figure out women probably should not be telling the man they're leaving. You understand?
Got it.
Okay. So 90% of the time, if the dude is crazy, that's the day he's going to show you how crazy he is. So there cannot be a forewarning. Nothing. Everything has to look normal. Okay. Now, Jen, I don't know if it's the man in your life, your husband. I don't know. It's none of my business. But I'm not telling anyone to divorce their spouse. I'm telling you based on personal safety that if you care for your person, there cannot be a forewarning. I have seen this time and time again, and I hate to say it, 90% of the time, it is bad, real bad, sometimes up to death. When the woman says, I'm leaving, it's not just bad, it is up to death. Sometimes they will unalive the woman because they say, you're never going to find better than me. Who do you think you are? And you name it. It comes out of their mouth, and they unalive the person. So,
it's not my husband.
So. Well, no. I'm not saying it is or it's not. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying, please. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not.
I got you.
Yeah. I'm not trying to say it is or it's not. I'm saying all this because there's a lot of people listening. You understand? And there may be someone that has someone in the family that it may be their spouse, whether male or female. I've seen women beat up the guy. I've showed up to houses and the dude's all beat up and he's like 6'2", 6'3". The woman's like 5 foot nothing. And she's sitting on the couch with her arms crossed, mad. And this dude's all beat up. And I'm looking, I'm like, everything all right? And the guy's like, yep. And I know that little woman just whooped his butt, but he's too embarrassed to say it, because he don't want to hit her back. And so I said, all right, I'm going to go ahead and leave. I didn't really leave. I went right down the road and I called a bunch of people. I said, hey, what do y'all know about, oh man, she beats him up. I said, okay, I knew it. And I said, if she does it again today, I'm taking her, bro, period. She's not going to just keep beating him up. And I'll tell you, I parked right down the road and I took all the calls that I was doing. I took them from right there. And within 3 or 4 hours, I get another call to that house. And this time I didn't ask no questions. I didn't even try to open the door. I just kicked that sucker open. Pow! And I caught her what she was doing. And I ran over there and I told him, I said, hey, bro, you touch me and I will embarrass you in front of people in this house. Don't touch me. I grabbed her by her hair, drug her all the way out, took her butt straight to jail. I didn't ask no questions. I seen her what she was doing. And some guys, they just don't want to admit, that the woman beat them up. But she was hitting them over the head with a frying pan, all kinds of stuff. But personal safety is number one. And when people stop seeking personal safety, that means they're doing what on the list? What thing are they doing on the list over the stuff that we're talking about, Jen?
Aggressive.
No, they are being passive.
Really?
The person that's hurting them is being aggressive. But I'm talking about talking about the person that is being hurt.
Taking it.
They're the one that's taking it. They're not doing it. They're being passive. Right? Because they're allowing what people do without any response. And it's unhealthy. Wow. So being aggressive, that's unhealthy. Being passive is unhealthy. But if you're being passive, that doesn't mean you become aggressive. Well, I'm going to do something. No. Listen, any form of aggression is unhealthy. Any form of someone being passive is unhealthy. Being passive aggressive is unhealthy. You have to be assertive. Assertive is confident and a forceful personality, right? But that's not talking about being aggressive. It just means you're putting your foot down, but you're just careful on how you do it. So if somebody is punching someone else in the face or someone's punching you in the face, you don't say, I would appreciate if you would hit me no more. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay. That's not the time. That's not the time to be assertive. All right. That's the time to give a good old uppercut and then say, okay, now let's talk about why you got knocked out. Now, again, I'm not saying to hit anybody, but if somebody's beating you up, I'm never going to say it's wrong to get them off of you, right? So you can, and people get this twisted. People get this twisted, right? If you're out ministering to people and someone comes up and you're talking about Jesus and someone comes up and they're like, stop talking about that stupid fake, that's a fake story, and they punch you. This is where the rubber meets the road right here, right? So the first scenario is someone's beating you up. I don't know, maybe they got mad at you because they think you cut it in line at McDonald's. Nobody's talking about Jesus. You're just trying to defend yourself. I 100% understand trying to defend yourself. I get that. But if you're ministering Jesus and someone comes up to you and they're hating you because you're talking about Jesus and they slap you in the face, let's say they hit you and that's it. They're just standing there. Do you start hitting them back? Huh?
Nope.
The truth is you don't. That's the truth. That love that you're showing them might be the thing that literally changes the trajectory of their life. You not hitting them back, right? So there's a difference between, you're at McDonald's, okay, and someone's like, hey, man, you cut it. You're like, oh, shoot. What happened? You cut it. No, I did it, bro. I didn't cut. And then people come up, hey, bro, he didn't cut. You're way, he's just in line. I get it. But if you're like, I love the Lord and Jesus and the Lord, and someone comes and slaps you, and you're like, hey, you don't slap me, and you beat them down, Like, you out there preaching? Like, what are you doing? Right? So you have to be able to harness your emotions. Okay? I tell people all the time, you don't know how to harness your emotions, you better not go start talking about Jesus in the public, because somebody's going to come probably slap you. Right? So, that would not be right. Now, don't get me wrong. If they punch you and they're still coming and you're like, hey, bro, stop it. They're still, hey, you hit them back. I get it. But I'm talking about that one slap in the head that they're like, man, shut up, bow. And they're just standing there and you're standing there. And they're like, you going to do something? Like, no. Why not? I just hit you. Say, maybe so, but I didn't come here to be aggressive with anybody. I'm just talking about the love of God. That'd probably be a real good time to use that word. I'm just talking about the love of God, bro. That's it. Now, trust me, if I wanted to, I'd dust you up and down this road right here. I didn't come here for that. Okay? Right? But if they hit you and they're not stopping, like, brrr, like, it's kind of like, I don't want all my teeth missing from my face either, bro. Calm down. I always can understand why someone gives them a little elbow. Like, hey, man, get back. Get away from me. Okay? Hey, please stop. Stop hitting me. But that's not the time to say, sir, look, can we just talk? I would prefer. That dude knocked all your teeth out. Okay? It's okay to put your hands up and, maybe give them a little slap so they can stop beating you up. But it's not going to be a good look if you just beat them down to the ground unless they're not going to stop, right? They're beating you up and you're like, hey, man, quit, man. Please stop. And they keep coming and come. Eventually, it's like, all right, bro. Yeah, I'm going to knock you out real quick and call the cops. Like, get away from me. What are you doing? But there's something different about someone who has like this demonic anger and they just want to hit you one time, pow. And you're looking at them and they're not continuing. They just, that one slap. And the cop may come, hey, you want to press charges? No, don't press charges. And, that's the time you could tell them, hey, can I continue? No, you need to shut up. Say, I just want to talk about the love of God. The love of God ain't real. It's got to be real because I'm not hitting you back. You can use things like that to show someone, bro, the violence doesn't have to be the answer. What are you hitting me for? I hate your God and I understand, but why am I not hitting you back? Like, you can tell them, because I've had some people go that direction with me and I'm like, hey, I'm not swinging at you, bro. Say, and then you flip it. Say, hey, let me ask you, if I slapped you, would you slap me back? You darn right. Okay. You can admit then there's something different between us, right? Right? There's a difference. You don't care to know what that is? Like, why is it you told me that if someone just randomly came up and hit you, you would hit them back, but you just hit me. I'm not trying to hit you back. You don't want to care. You don't care to want to know why? Like, God is real, bro. He's showing you his love right now. He's holding me back. Trust me. Before I was saved, you wouldn't have made it off this street. Wouldn't have happened, bro. Wouldn't have happened. But I'm sitting there telling you there's a better way, right? Deftone would say, gotta be real. I'm not hitting you back. Well, again, it's just, it just depends like where everybody's at. But what time is it? 12:30. All right, guys. So we talked about aggressive, passive, aggressive, assertive. I think we hit all of them. Okay. So look, guys, I'm going to title this video, Be Assertive. Okay. That's what I'm going to title this, Be Assertive. And I know we talked about it before, but sometimes people just forget and they just need to hear it again, right? Has anybody got any questions or anything at all?
Yeah.
What's up?
The Bible says there is time for everything. And also it says, mourn with those who mourn, laugh with those who laugh, cry with those who cry.
Yeah. What about it?
So that's showing empathy, compassion, and everything there.
Yeah, that's right. But that doesn't mean you just cry for anything either. Just because it says cry with those who are crying doesn't mean that if somebody gets a splinter and they've been crying for 4 days, I'm supposed to go there and cry over a stupid splinter in their finger. Right?
Right.
Right. So what I'm saying is, first, it's like, wait a minute, there is a splinter in my finger, but I don't have to cry about it. You grow from that.
Yeah, that's different.
Oh, right, it is. But what I'm saying is, you grow from that to a loss of a job. I don't have to cry over it. I'll go get another one. So wouldn't you agree that a loss of a job is more serious than a splinter in your finger?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Okay. But what I'm saying is, try to tell a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old kid that's got a splinter and they see blood, try to tell them to stop crying. Are they going to stop?
I will have to use wisdom.
But I'm saying, is it easy to tell a kid that sees blood to stop crying? They're already crying. Ah! If you say stop crying, they're going to stop?
No.
Why not?
Because it hurts them. It happens to them.
Right, but they believe their feelings more than a truth.
Yeah,
they believe their
what?
feeling.
Right.
Okay, so what I'm saying is there's a lot of adults that have not grown out of that. And when you tell them stop crying, they're going to react like the kid. What do you mean? Yeah, get away. Don't tell me to stop crying.
It's the same thing. Like if a kid falls and everyone's like, oh, "Are you okay?" Like the kid will literally melt down.
Oh,
But
yeah.
If y'all just say, "Ooh, safe," pick them up and keep it moving like it's all good, they literally grow confidence right then and there in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with adults. It's just that now that we're adults, we think because we're adults, this has to be right. I'm an adult. Yeah, but you're not acting like an adult. You're still acting like a kid, right? Again, there's many levels of this. Most of us, hopefully, doesn't kick and scream whenever their significant other tells them, you're not buying this at the store, right? You tell a 5 to a 10-year-old, you're not getting another toy. If not careful, they're going to hit that ground because they want their way, right? But most adults should not be doing that. But yet an adult would say, yeah, if you're doing that, something's wrong. Why? I should be able to say, no, I have feelings. I have emotions. I can do whatever I want. Shouldn't I be able to say that? Can I say that to him? Jen?
Yes.
Can I say that? Am I going to be right?
Well, it depends how you say it.
It don't matter how I say it. I'm going to say, don't tell me that I cannot fall down to the ground as an adult, kick and scream and cry until I get that Snicker bar.
And pull yourself together.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But
That's
notice.
where I'm going with that.
Okay. But notice how confident y'all are. Y'all know that, bro, you're an adult. Stop doing that. So
I need to be confident.
We went, listen, we went from a splinter, no longer being that serious, to not getting the Snicker bar. It's not that serious. I'm telling you, you can do this with everything, but you have to get there. It's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight, but you can tell when someone is still, I'm going to use the word immature regarding their emotions. You can tell because there's little things that should not be, again, it won't be little to one person. It won't be little. Like, for instance, if I tell a kid, that is just a splinter, stop crying. To them, it's not little. But to us, it is little, right? It's a little thing.
I understand what you're saying.
Right.
But a lot of times it could be triggers.
I know, Jen, I've been to all the counseling classes. I know everything about triggers. I know about all that. Okay, I understand. I get it, and I'm still saying what I'm saying.
You're still standing.
I'm still standing. I understand all that. You're not talking to someone that's ignorant about triggers. I know about okay, I've taught PTSD classes. Do you understand? I taught it.
Okay.
I'm the teacher. Okay? And in those classes,
you're gonna have to teach me.
That's what I'm trying to do. You don't believe what I'm saying.
I do believe.
Okay, well, again, remember I told you it's not going to happen overnight.
Okay.
Seed, time, and harvest, right? Say it with me.
Okay.
Say it with me.
Seed,
time, and harvest. All right. So,
harvest.
so again, if we go outside and you're like, Trot, teach me how to grow tomatoes, I'm going to be like, all right, check it out. You take a seed and you go put it in the ground, right?
Yes.
All right. And then I say, all right, now tomorrow I'm going to come back and we're going to water it again. But if I come back the next day to the little garden and you dug up all the seeds, the first night, I'm going to come back to the house. Hey, where's all the seeds at? Oh, I pulled them out. Why? I wanted to see if something happened. Would that make any sense, bro?
No.
Why not?
Because in order to harvest, you have to let it grow.
You have to let it grow. So if you understand that, how are you not understanding what I'm telling you?
I understand.
No, listen.
Just
so
give me time, brother.
I am giving you time. I need you to understand that it's going to take time. That's what I'm explaining. So also, let's say you leave them in there for 3 days and I come back the 4th day, right? And you dug them up again. And I'm like, bro, what do you keep digging them up for? Listen, this is what people do when they keep praying for the same thing.
Wow.
If you said a prayer to God, are we not supposed to trust that prayer is going to come to pass?
Yes.
Okay, so how does it make any sense? Yes. How does it make any sense to go to the ground and dig it up to see what happened, How's that make any sense?
That's like a faith.
Okay, right. So there's an issue is what I'm saying. That's an issue, right?
Yes.
All right. So you're not supposed to cry over the same thing over and over. Listen, if you're going to mourn, mourn. After that, you put it in God's hands and quit digging up the freaking seed. Get it?
Got it.
All right. So when your feelings bring back the painful event, you're not supposed to say, oh, the feeling is back. No, it's not. Tell your feelings to shut the heck up. You've already cried. All right. Now you let God mend it. You let him mend it. Go talk about something else. Change the subject. This is not apathy. Okay? Apathy is when you don't care at all. You have no remorse, no feelings. This is not apathy. Okay? You've already had empathy. All right? You've already utilized sympathy. Those things already happen. Right? Now,
God said, go talk about Jesus.
Now go talk about Jesus. Go talk about something that's worth talking about, not the hard time. You every time you talk about the hard time, you put Satan on a pedestal and you push Jesus to the side. That makes no sense. Makes no sense.
I received that.
All right.
It really does work because essentially, like, you've been doing it this one way your whole life, right? So it's going to take a little while to get used to doing it the other way. But once you understand this thing and you just keep putting it in practice, it becomes second nature to you to do it that way.
Yeah. So it doesn't make you hard-hearted. You're not like, nothing could make me cry. That's not what this is. It's just another mature step towards focusing on what matters rather than focusing on what does not matter. But your feelings are going to tell you, but it matters. Yeah, it matters to the feelings, okay? But to God, it doesn't matter, okay? That doesn't matter to God, right? The sad things don't matter to God. And when people hear this, they're like, God cares about it. He doesn't care the same way your feelings care for it. No, he doesn't. His focus is on you staying in peace, not you staying in your feelings and crying like a baby. That's not what he's focused on. He's focused on you understanding that these things are material. They're corruptible. They're going to die off, but you are eternity. You will never die off. So it'd be like,
Okay, so
let me say this last thing, Jen. It'd be like 50,000 years from now, Jen. We're flying in heaven. I'm being silly, but just bear with me. We're flying in heaven, and I go, "Hey, Jen," and you're like, "What?" I was like, "I told you all that crying was for nothing." Do you understand?
Yes.
We're already in heaven, and I'm going to make fun of you about how you cried about everything here. Do you understand?
And that's what she's going to do. She's going to laugh.
Right.
Hear that laugh.
Because you're going to be like, "Oh, I get it now." So your eyes need to be focused on eternity, not right now.
Amen. Amen.
You understand? So
Yes, sir.
that's why it's easy for you to stay in peace, because your vision is not dull. You can still see the truth that you'll be here for eternity. So when
Thank you, brother.
So when you see that, wait a minute, I'm going to be here for eternity, right? So if you're going to be here in 200,000 years, what the heck does the year 38 that you existed matter? What does it matter in comparison to eternity? Does it matter?
No.
No, it doesn't. Doesn't matter anymore. That isn't, you're not being cold-hearted. You're just so focused on what's true. The thing that's not true is no longer an issue to you because you're focused on eternity.
I needed this. Thank you.
Absolutely. Misunderstood. You got, don't come up here with no nonsense.
No, it's not nonsense.
Okay,
I mean,
what's up?
You're helping me. You're helping me with all your examples and everything. But okay, my issue is that when I don't purposely bring up something because it's just like forget it. My husband doesn't take accountability for his actions.
Yeah.
And then when I call him out on it, he goes MIA. He won't talk, he won't message, he won't anything. And then he says, "I'm living in the past." But you didn't acknowledge everything, no accountability. You did not say, "I'm sorry I said that. I shouldn't have said that to you. I shouldn't have did this, I shouldn't have did that." And then, because I brought it up, what he did. And then all of a sudden, nothing. No communication. I don't want nothing. And it's just like, it makes me feel like I'm not letting it go. But you expect me to have accountability, but you have none.
Yeah.
So how does that work?
So I don't need to hear the real thing, but like make up a fake scenario with you and him and show me what you're saying he's doing. Like, just make it up. I don't care what it is.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
No, not you. No,
Oh,
misunderstood.
sorry.
Not you. Give me a second. Can you hear me now? Now? What? Now? What? Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm doing the wrong one. Okay. Now? You can? Too loud and you need more? Is that good? All right. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Example. I said, okay, I'll cook dinner tonight. So when you come home from work, dinner will be done.
Yeah.
Comes home from work, dinner's not done.
Well, shame on you. You should have been in there barefooted making that food, woman.
Yeah, where's that pot?
Oh,
No, go ahead. Go. Hey, she's like, you know what? I knew not to ask. Oh, no, go ahead. All right, so dinner's not done.
No, that's fine. No. Dinner's not done. Instead of you asking, okay, so dinner's not done, what's for dinner? Like, I could have ordered something because I had a long day at work, but you automatically, oh, you broke your word. You said you were going to do this and you said you were going to do that. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Dinner is going to be done. But I don't get an opportunity to even explain. I get shut off. There's no room to even give an explanation.
All right. Let me ask you this: if I was to ask him this scenario right here, if I was to ask him, if I was to say, hey, should she have had dinner ready? What would his answer be in this scenario?
Yes, because she said dinner will be ready when I came home.
Right. So the issue, it's called a thinking error, and it's the word should. And there are people who will not come off of thinking errors. A lot of times thinking errors is why people's trajectory in their life is the way that it is, because they have a belief that's not true. So the truth is, and again, I'm not saying it's because you're the woman. Maybe that might be part of it, but if he says, oh, well, she said she was going to make food, so she should do it. So if I have a thinking error that the woman should cook, and she said she was going to do it this time, so she should do it, I have turned this should into an absolute in my life, and it's going to cause heartbreak. Because the should theory is not necessarily true hardly ever, really, right? So I can say if I put gas in my car, my car should turn on because it ran out of gas 5 minutes ago, so it's lacking gas. So if I put gas in it, it should turn on. That's true, right?
Yes.
Right. If I drink coffee that's caffeinated, I should feel the effects of caffeine, right?
Correct.
So that's how we're supposed to use should, right? But I can't tell Christian you should act like a man because he's a mama's boy. Like that ain't gonna make no sense. Right? I can't put that on him, right? Just like I can't tell your husband just like your husband cannot tell you should have had the food ready. The truth is, no, you shouldn't have.
Boy, I'm going to tell you.
I didn't even know if you heard me. Okay, all right. But
I heard you.
But it's a thinking error when you're telling your spouse what they should be doing. That's a thinking error. Okay, now I'm not talking about if we go to the dinner table, if we go out to eat and your spouse is picking their nose, you can say you should not be doing that in public. It's okay. But you can't hold them to like the whole should theory regarding woman should be cooking. And not only that, if she tells me 7 o'clock, it should be done at 7. No, the should is the problem. Even though you may have said the food is going to be ready at 7. Yes, I get that. Okay, you said it was going to be done and it's not. But the thing that would cause someone to be mad is the should. It should be done. And it's hard to get someone away from the should theory. It's not easy. It's actually pretty. It's
not, because
it's difficult.
It's hard. It's hard. And just to piggyback on that, because all of his exes before me, the should, they would break their back to make sure it's done.
Yeah.
And so now here I am, he's trying to put that should on me, and I'm just like, hold up. Wait a minute.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, the problem is not you're not holding up your word. That's not the problem. The problem would be me asking, him, do you think that the food should have been done when you got home? Yeah, that's what she said. Now I know the problem. So, okay, fine. We can say you were wrong. You didn't have the food ready. You said, okay, fine. Yeah. She was wrong, but that kind of wrong should not start an argument. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So
understand.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, he's not wrong for saying, man, you said it was going to be done at 7. He's not wrong. You're not wrong that it wasn't. Nobody's wrong. The wrong is when the person has this should. It should have been done. It's a thinking error. So it's like, it's like, how do
you bring that up? Because it's always been, I'm challenging him.
Yeah.
I'm not accepting.
Yeah. So okay.
How do you handle that?
Yeah. So the easiest way is if you can get this person to agree with you to go to a Christian counselor. That's the only way. They're not going to listen to you.
You ain't never lied.
They're not going to listen to you.
I'm going to drop down.
Yeah. So all you got to do is find a type of person. I don't care if it's male or female that you think that this person. Oh, she already hopped off. Okay. You're probably listening. So, the thinking errors don't stop until someone can show them thinking this way is an error. Someone has to be able to show them that, okay, you're listening. Okay. Yeah. Someone has to be able to show them that this is an error. This way of thinking is an error. To say that only the women cook in the house, only women should do it. So if a woman should cook, that means a man can't. So now a man can't. Well, yeah, but the man shouldn't. I'm not asking if the man should or shouldn't cook. Can a man cook? It's a yes or no, right? So if a man can cook, then that means both man and woman in the house both can cook. They both can. So, I'll give you an example with my wife. She's old school. She's old fashioned. So she understands the should, like, yeah, woman should cook or woman should clean. Yeah. But does that mean the man can't cook? The man can't clean? Is that what that means? That's not what that means. Okay. It's just that back in the day, in the freaking 30s, most men worked. The woman stayed home and took care of the kids. So if that's the scenario that somebody's in, is it wrong for the man to ask the woman, hey, do you think you can clean while you're here all day? I want to know, is that wrong to ask her to do that? If the guy's working all day, is it wrong for him to ask? It's not wrong. So let's flip it. The woman is working all day, and let's say the guy's not working, okay? But what is he doing anything? Is he doing anything? Let's say he's not doing nothing. Is it wrong for the woman to ask the man, hey, I'm working all day. Can you clean the house? Is it wrong? No, it's not wrong. But it's definitely not somebody should. We have to get rid of the should. There is no should, okay? You have to be careful how you're using the should. You have to be careful. Again, the effects of caffeine should have an effect. There should be an effect. If there's not, maybe you're drinking decaf. Okay? We know that most men go to war. Okay? Most men go to war. Most women do not. But because most men go to war, is it okay for me to say men should go? Like all men, so all men should go to war? That's not okay. Not all men can go to war. Not all men can. Like Trot should be out there working on the pool. So right now, I should be working on the pool. But again, she's not going to tell me that I should be doing it because I'm the man. No. She's going to say, if we want the pool to be done in the time frame that we want it done, you should be working on the pool. Not, you're the man, you should be working on the pool. No, because we had to reroute a bunch of plumbing pipes. She's a woman, and she went out there and did it with me. So I thought the man should be doing the plumbing. Well, if that's the case, then the woman shouldn't be doing, and she should be cooking. No, we split. We do everything. I will tell you this: she does the laundry, and I'm gonna tell you why. Y'all can laugh all you want. She doesn't like the way I do laundry. You understand? She don't like the way I do it. I said there ain't nothing wrong.
No.
That there ain't nothing wrong with
he says, don't you lie.
No, I'm serious. She don't. She does not like the way.
She said you're lying.
Huh?
Talking about the poll.
You said you're lying in the comments. She said you lying.
Babe, put the mic right here. You got the mic right here.
Who's laughing?
Just say you lying
Put
like a
the
rug.
mic right there, woman. You should use the mic.
There.
You should use the mic. Yeah, okay. Here's a perfect example. She's in here.
He would prefer for you to use the mic.
Yeah, but I mean, but I can't say she should use the mic just because she's in here. She shouldn't do anything.
That's when you're supposed to say you would prefer.
Please use the mic. I would love to hear your perspective.
Yes, I would prefer that next time you would use the mic.
Tighten this. Tighten it more.
It is. Should I tighten it
You
more?
should tighten that, yes. You should.
You should. He would prefer it, Mackenzie. He would
All right.
prefer
Hey,
it.
talking it.
Okay.
Do it again.
Okay.
Do it again.
Okay.
Do it again.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, no, you got to talk right here. Okay, hold on. All right, put your mouth right there.
Should.
All right, can y'all hear her?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I heard her laughter. I'm like, wait, where's it coming from?
Yeah, no, she's in here. She walked in here. She snuck in. She knows she ain't supposed to be in here. She should not be in here.
You should be outside.
He should be in the kitchen baking a pie.
That's right, barefooted.
No. He should and she can.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, but seriously, she does do the laundry, right? But I don't have a problem doing it. But she don't like the way I do it. So I said, what's wrong with the way that I do it? She's like, well, you take all the clothes. She's like, and instead of immediately putting them in the closet, because okay, watch this. When you
he does it the lazy way.
No, well, I don't think it's lazy. That's just the way I like to do it. So like, for instance, if let's say there's 15 shirts in there, okay? Let's say that's all that's in there is T-shirts. You know, once you take them out, they only got a short period of time. If you don't like make them straight, they're going to get wrinkled, right?
Right.
Okay, so what do? I straighten them out and I put them, let's say, on the bed. It don't got to be the bed. It could be a couch. I need a flat surface because I'm going to put all the T-shirts on top of each other. Because if I got something else to do, I'm going to run and go do that. But now they're not going to be wrinkled. That means I could put a hanger on them whenever I want. But she's like, well, but why don't you just put a hanger on them now? And I'm like, well, because that's not what I do. And she's like, okay, well, then I'm just going to do the laundry. I was like, you're just going to do the laundry because, and again, this is the micromanaging, right? Both people can do it if you're not careful. Like, it'd be like someone saying, hey, go do the laundry. Okay, I'm going to go do it. And then they're right there behind you. I don't like the way you're doing that. You're not doing that right. That's called micromanaging. That's not healthy, okay? But I'm not a crybaby, so she can micromanage all she wants. I'm just going to ignore it. I'm not going to do it the way she wants it done. We go driving. I'm driving, okay? And she's like, hey, get in the right lane. I'm like, why? I want to be in the middle lane. Well, because it'd be better if you got no, you're micromanaging. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get all the way to the left lane on purpose because you want me to go to the right lane. If you're going to tell someone to drive, you don't tell them how to drive. They're already driving. You know, nobody wants a boss at work where he's like, hey, how come you don't have any highlighters on your desk? Oh, well, I'm going to get me some. So let's say you go get you some highlighters and you get yellow. And he sees them and he says, hey, put them in a coffee cup. Okay. Now I'm going to go get a coffee cup. Now I got my lighters in a coffee cup. And he goes, hey, why do you got all yellow highlighters? You need to have one red, one green, one blue, one yellow. Okay, let me go get one green, one yellow. And then he comes by the next day and all your, let's say, I don't have a pen in here. Let's say all the tops of the highlighters are facing upward. And he's like, hey,
put them upside down.
Put them upside down. Oh, my God. Okay. Put them upside down. So the next day he's like, hey, why do you got all the highlighters upside down in a cup on the right side? Put them on the left side of your desk. Oh my God, put them on. That is micromanaging. Micromanaging. If he said, get some highlighters, it should not matter where the heck you have them and how you got them placed on the desk. Okay? As long as it's neat. So micromanaging could be a problem too, where someone likes to do it their way, and so they say, you should do it the way I do it. You should. No. The problem is not the person. It's the thinking error should. Nobody should do it exactly the way that you do it. No one. No one should do it your way, okay? So, again, we're attacking the should theory. And the should is a serious thinking problem, and it hurts a lot of people because they believe something that's not true. A woman is not the one that should be cooking. Well, by now, y'all know that's why I tell my heifer, hey, you get in that kitchen and you make sure you're barefooted and make me a pie, right? By now, y'all should know why I say that. Does anyone know, or do I need to explain why I say it?
Because I don't cook.
My wife, well, that's not the reason though. I say it because that's what people believe women should be doing. Okay. Now on the cool, I do say that for that specific reason. Like, hey, you get your butt in there and you make, but I don't expect her to go standing there barefooted and making pies every day. Okay. But I make fun of the should theory, that that's what you should be doing. And you're a man, okay, well, you should be doing this, right? Herman, would you say it's never putting them on the hanger part? Hey, they get on the hanger eventually.
Eventually, after I put it on there.
Yeah.
But also somebody says, but the Bible says men make the coffee.
It does. It says he brews.
Well, last time I checked, I make it for you every single morning. I make sure it's all ready for you.
Yeah, okay, but see, she makes the coffee not because
So
she should.
So she brews?
She brews.
Okay.
But she don't make the coffee because she should make my coffee. No, she just makes it. I don't know why she makes it. I never asked her to. I don't tell her, you better make sure that coffee's made. She just makes the coffee because she wants to make the coffee. That's it. I mean, there's nothing else about that. You have to make sure to be with someone that's a giver, not a taker. You got to be with someone that's a giver, not a taker. If you're already married to someone that's not a giver, guess what? It's your job to figure out how to get them to understand that it's better to give than to receive. It's better to...
My husband and I do a lot together, you know.
Yeah.
He cooks with me and we do things together. We share our chores.
Yeah, so there's no true should. Now, there are times that you'll run into something that should happen, but y'all both will know, yeah, this should, hey, should we eat out every day this week?
Yes.
Right? That's why I'm the...
Yes.
That's why I'm the money person, right? Listen, as quick as you can, you need to figure out who's the nerd.
You should eat out every day.
Listen, you need to figure out who the nerd is and who the free-spirited person is. And I'm being nice by guarding my words. One of you is free-spirited, okay?
That would be me.
And one of you is the nerd. So you need to find out who's the nerd and who's the free-spirited. And I don't care who the nerd is. If the nerd happens to be the girl and the guy has a thinking error, he should, right? Watch this. So let me show you how catastrophic this is. Texas Roadhouse every day.
Yes. All those rolls all day.
No, we don't need
steak.
You don't need no more.
No, for $28, try it. You can't beat it. You can't barely buy it for that cheap.
Well, I can make a steak just as good, so I don't have to pay $30. I can buy a $10 steak and make it taste just like Texas Roadhouse.
Well, they got potatoes, mashed potatoes, baked potatoes. They got the macaroni and
they
cheese.
Got everything.
Got the broccoli. What do you mean?
No, their green beans are the best.
What do you mean?
You leaving the green beans out? What's wrong with you? No.
Our Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, I wasn't gonna name the whole menu.
Yeah, but she didn't name them first, which is weird. That would have been mashed potatoes and green.
No, the rolls. The rolls are the main.
No, dude, baked potato, bro.
The rolls are main.
And yeah,
important.
unlimited rolls.
Oh my God! You don't need, honey. You don't need.
Can't beat
You don't need to eat
I'm
3
sorry.
baskets of rolls.
Yeah, go ahead.
We hear about this roll.
Listen. You should not be eating all 3 baskets of rolls. You should not be doing that.
And you should learn how to keep your mouth shut.
No, better not.
Okay.
Better not. All right, but anyway, as quick as possible. Yeah, so listen to the catastrophe here, and we're hopping off. If you have a spouse, whether it's the male or female, now let's just stay on the male. If you have a male that has the should theory, okay, they believe in the should theory, and you tell them, and they say the man should be in charge of all the money, but they're the free-spirited one, and the woman is the nerd, meaning the woman likes to sit down and do mathematical equations. They like it because they're the nerd, but the man hates it, and he's free-spirited, which means y'all are broke before the end of the month every month, because the wrong person is in charge of the money. But the reason that man is in charge of the money is because the man should be in charge of the money. That should theory in that case is a catastrophic event. So you need to quickly find out who's the nerd, who's the free-spirited, and y'all both got to come into agreement on who is the nerd. Okay, you're the nerd. Well, then guess what? If you're the nerd truly, then you're the one that's in charge of the money. It shouldn't matter if it's the male or female. It shouldn't matter, because they're going to make sure to help the house know what's going to be happening with the money every month. And then, of course, eventually you can start saving money. But if you let the free-spirited person take care of the money, y'all ain't going to have money for nothing, right? So that's another additive. All right, so today is I'm going to title the topic is going to be assertive, and I don't think I'm going to mention the should theory in there. I'm just going to put be assertive. So anybody got anything before we go? Because I should be working on the pool right now, but I'm here messing with you folks.
Facts.
Thanks for joining us, Mackenzie.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yes, it was nice.
As I said, it was nice. It mellowed Trot out a little bit. It mellowed him. They get mad at me.
Sure did.
They get mad at me because I'm like, man, y'all need to harness your emotions. But we have emotions.
Be nice. Be nice to them.
So they want to know how you deal with not being able to utilize your emotions. How do you deal with it? Because Trot tells everybody to harness. What are you doing in here? He's been in here the whole time?
We know how she deals with it. She's a saint. We already know.
I have a paddle, and it has Trot name written all over it. That's how I handle it. That's how I handle my emotions.
I made that paddle out of straight oak, and the handle is made from the hair off my back.
It's got your name all over it.
Yeah, it's got my name on it. I own it, but it's used on her. She should accept and take my paddling
that I give you.
Thanks for joining us, Saint Mackenzie.
Yes.
The catechized saint.
Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, Trot? It's funny because you made that one video where you were walking around with the saint thing and this, that saint thing that was going around TikTok. Y'all should do it with Mackenzie.
What thing?
Remember when you made that video where you had the head scarf over your head or whatever, and you were walking through the house and you were like, "This is what I am. I'm a saint." You don't remember the saint? The women would see their men walking through and they'd be like, "Here he comes."
Oh, we talked about doing that.
Yeah. So now you got to.
Matter of fact, hold on a second. Hold on. Let me say this. Hold on. No. Listen, it was her idea. She goes, "Babe, look at this."
Mackenzie?
She's like, "Look at this video." She's like, "We ought to do that." First of all, she's playing. She wasn't saying we should really do it. But when she said that, I said we should definitely do that.
Yeah.
You don't remember?
The rules were wrong.
Let me explain it. Let me explain it to her. You showed me a video where there was a woman, okay? She's standing in one of their rooms and she said, "How my man thinks I should respond to him. And she opens the door. He walks through there, and there's music in the back room like, oh no, Espiritu Santo. And he's got a big robe on, and he's walking like this. You don't remember that?
No, I've showed you so many TikTok videos.
Oh, no, she showed me that video. That's funny you said that.
So show her the video.
No, I'm going to show her.
With her.
I'm going to show her. But no, it'd be me, though. It's got to be the guy. That's the whole point of the video.
Just like the other video where I want to steal your food like you're eating, and I just steal it and take it, and the look on your face would be priceless.
Yeah, so they film a waitress coming, and like there's a guy
not
eating.
That one, no.
The waitress come and take. Oh, which one?
The one where you're literally about to take a bite of something.
Oh,
and I go over there and I like basically bite into it, and you're all like looking at me like, hello.
Yeah,
like,
she showed me. She showed me that one too. She goes, "Hey, I'm going to do this," and like, hey, the guy's literally just about to take a bite, and the woman grabs the burger and like starts shoving the whole thing in her mouth. I was like, yeah, you should not be doing that with my food.
Just like I should the way I eat my French fries.
Yeah, we don't got to weird it, guys. Y'all don't got to. They ain't got to get weirded out.
Ice cream and French fries.
Talking about food.
Yeah, but French fries, it's fried, so fried stuff goes good with ice cream. That batter that's fried, that's why it tastes good. It's not because of the potato. Anyway, all right, guys, has anybody got anything before we hop off? Anybody? No?
Is there any way you guys could come back as a couple and, speak on a couple things?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't got a problem doing that.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's off for the summer, so we might do a little bit of that. We've already talked about it.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So everybody that's here, y'all, especially the guys, make sure you're here so you can see how to treat a woman.
Hey, I like the Tina
I'm gonna show
Maria.
Hey, if you're not right here, we can't hear you.
Hey, okay,
What?
I'm sorry. What's that? Maria, she says, sounds like a young girl. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let me see. Who says that?
I am
Maria,
a young girl.
sounds like a young girl. Yeah, don't let that old hag fool you, Maria. Don't let that old heifer fool you. Trust me, when she wakes up in the morning, she moves like the rest of y'all. Yes, please, about her relationship with God, especially the guys. Yeah, she could talk about those things, but she always tells me, but I'm a baby in Christ. If y'all didn't know, my wife is a baby. You're here. Speak for yourself. You got 30 seconds. We got to go. Ready, go.
I am a baby in Christ. I'm learning every single day. Trot tells me all the time, just get on there. You'll learn. I mean, I listen to him all day long. I really don't want to get on there, but I'm learning every single day. It's hard because I don't understand things, but as a couple, we're growing, and I am learning more and more.
All right, y'all heard it from the heifer herself.
Your sincerity.
All right.
What was the day?
Do what?
What day y'all coming back as a couple?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
They'll plan it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Like I said, she's off for the summer, so I've already told her that she needs to come in here, and she just decided to come in today, but I didn't know. It doesn't matter what day she comes in. Y'all know how we roll. I have a question for you to tomorrow. Angel, what's the question? Tell me now so I can write it down. Oh, crud. What's your question, Angel? How can I prepare for a relationship as a single man in Christ? Oh, Lord, we're going to start this. I should have known.
Oh, yeah.
Can I just say one thing? Because I'm at work. So
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to tell you that how much I've learned in harnessing my emotions, that like I have to get a lot of sleep. And the other night, I had to stay up all night finishing these boat cushions that I was recovering to deliver them today. And most of the time when I get super tired, I get really emotional about stuff. But being able to harness my emotions, I went through the whole day. I had to go to work. I only got a couple hours sleep, and normally I would be horrible to deal with because my emotions would be all over the place. But through all that and then listening today, I was like, wow, what a difference it makes in harnessing my emotions. It's like, I was so tired and I just let things go. I didn't let anything bother me. It's just whatever, just let it go, and stuff. And my employee had to call me like 3 times while I was trying to sleep. And I was like, okay, that's what my job is. And I just did it. And I just want to tell you how grateful I am that I'm still learning, but what I've learned so far on how great it is to be able to harness my emotions. So, and my husband has noticed a big change in me as well. I mean, I know that he knows that I listen to you every morning, but he doesn't know how, what you talk about and stuff, because a lot of times I'm listening to you while I'm getting to work and stuff. But I just want to tell you thank you and how grateful I am for your teaching.
Yeah, absolutely. Jennifer, don't forget to bring that up tomorrow. We'll probably talk about that first, and then we'll get into Angel's question that says, I got it down right here. How can I prepare for a relationship as a young single man in Christ? And we'll talk about that tomorrow. But first, we'll go over Jennifer's question about Edom in Isaiah 63, 1 through 6. Matter of fact, I think that's what you gave. Yeah, 63, 1 through 6. We'll talk about that tomorrow as soon as we come on. Excuse me. So, all right. Yeah. So tomorrow it's going to be Isaiah 63. And then I'll go over a little bit about a single dude. Matter of fact, we'll probably talk about both, not just a single dude, but single people in general, preparing for a relationship. We'll talk about that a little bit tomorrow. All right. Other than that, and Nina, one day you should bring your husband so he can pat you on the back in front of everybody and say that you're no longer just a single crazy heifer. You're acting like you're a mature adult. And sometimes those stories are needed so everybody can have some hope in their life. Unless, I don't even know if she's still here. All right, guys, we're out. We will see y'all in the morning.